Hey, it's Tuesday, August the 6th, 2019? It's 2019.
It's 2019, yo.
Is this the giant bombcast? Is that right?
Kind of.
Okay.
Mostly.
I'm Brad. Shoot. Okay, all right, we're getting on track now. Hello, Jason A. Stryker is here.
Hey, how's it going?
It's confused. Bed pack.
Hey, as long as you're not dazed.
Let's move on to Jan Achille at the end of the table.
Hello, I'm down here. I'm kind of cold.
Dude,
Aw.
I think it's like steamy
chilly.
in here.
You're cold? I've just been drinking like too much ice water. Or
Yes, so
something.
you're like
That could
bundled
be it.
up down there.
I don't
Icy.
know.
Full house this week.
Yeah.
Got Kallie, Plagge, and Michael Higham of GameSpot fame.
Hi, Magandanga.
This is like approaching a Game of the Year level of people in this room.
Oh, let's do it. We're more than
terrifying.
Oh, we're
halfway,
just going to get into it right now?
more than halfway through the year. I already know what
Fire
game of the year
Emblem.
is.
Fire Emblem.
No, fuck you. Fuck Fire Emblem.
Brad hates anime.
Brad, so much of this site has come around on anime in the last couple years. You're the only one really holding that.
Somebody's got to
Yeah.
provide balance, right?
You're right. You're
I
right.
guess so.
We need to present both perspectives on this contentious issue. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks
you
for
guys.
having
Thank
us.
you guys for being here.
Yeah, it's a dream come true of sorts. I used to listen to Hotspot and then On the Spot.
Wow.
And Arrow
Damn.
pointing down.
Wow.
And
You have the
Bombcast.
DVDs?
The hot spot.
I'm a day one, man.
Michael really is your biggest fan.
Don't say that line. That's weird.
Kallie's cool. She doesn't like this shit. But
Yeah, I could take it or leave it. But
I think the hot spot started 13 years ago, I think. Is that
I think
right?
long-
2006,
maybe longer
I
than
want to
that.
say.
Good
Could may
Lord.
have been sooner, earlier than that.
Yeah, shouts out to Rich Gallup.
Yeah.
I don't think they even had a computer back then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Rich
Oh my
Rich
God.
Gallup, who I know we've said before, would stand through the entire recording of that
Yeah.
show.
Hey, man.
It's funny.
Juice Scanlon, too.
Like a
Yeah, he would stand.
like a radio host.
You
Just
guys gotta be
Standard.
like upside down.
gotta
or
get your lungs kind of,
Yeah. So many people have
expand, like get a good
like a
lungful
working
when you
desk.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many people have standing desks.
Yeah.
I understand.
yeah,
I respect
yeah.
it.
It's a long time.
It's
Now
a long time.
Now we're just lazy and sit here and kind of.
I would honestly lie down if I could. If we could just like set up the mics and have me just in a hammock or something.
You know, some singers lie down and sing because it like
Oh,
similarly, I think, kind of opens your diaphragm or
That's
whatever.
what I've been
Really
doing wrong.
shitty
Maybe,
concerts,
maybe
by the
we
way.
should try that. We should try that out. We should.
You're also taller when you lie down because gravity makes you like a half-inch shorter over the course of a day.
You just spread out like a little bit?
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
What if we podcasted from hammocks?
Yeah.
I've been
with
saying
that, yeah.
for years.
Yeah?
Let's do that.
It's a good way to bring down the high energy we're known
Yes,
for.
of
Sick. Let's do it.
Let's get right on that.
Yeah.
Let's get right on that. Evo.
Yes.
I know we need to talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we've got 4 Evo veterans.
I was going to say
in the build.
between 3 and 4 people who are hype in here. at
We are
least.
so hyped.
Cal, I actually don't know if you're. What's
Are
your
you
hype level?
hyped? Yeah.
Have you ever gotten hype?
Michael brought me back an Isabel keychain, so I'm.
Yeah.
I guess you could say I
Kinda
am
like
somewhat hype.
Medium hype.
Yeah. Medium rare hype.
I mean, Ars Alley's popping at Evo.
It's true.
Yeah. Like, Evo is more of a convention than I thought it was. Like, if they have the
it's kind of
tournaments.
become that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like back when I started going like 10 years ago, it was like, it was just a fighting game tournament at that point. You'd maybe see one booth, but some of the side tournament stuff they would have in like the back of the room, but that's been kind of moved to other areas.
Side
now.
tournaments
Yeah.
are huge there, too. I saw
Yeah.
MVC2 popping off.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so you win.
yeah,
which I didn't know when we invited you to come in here that you were actually going to this thing.
Yeah,
I just-
live on the scene,
so,
man.
and you went for fun.
I did. Yeah, I was telling y'all earlier that this is the first time in a while that I went to a convention/event that's not for work,
Right.
and it's a different atmosphere. I'm there to have fun. I'm there to gush about
Oh, that's
the games
perfect.
that I love. Like
Yeah.
I was front row to see the Undernight Grand Finals,
Yo!
and I was like mad emotional, dog. Like, yeah, like I think that's because that's the first thing I did on Saturday morning. I woke up mad early to make sure I was there.
So was Undernight a Saturday morning finals kind of game?
Yeah.
Is that where we're at?
But it's first time on the main stage.
Okay.
And, like the story of Melty Blood, Undernight, and Soft Circle French Bread is such an amazing story. Hey, you know,
Brad,
out of your
Brad,
mouth.
you're this is anime. Don't worry about it.
It's really anime. I do want to know. I don't think Michael's ever gotten up that early.
yeah, no. So it's in Vegas, and I was also there with my friends because they want to like do the whole Vegas turn up thing, and I was like, I'm not feeling too old for that shit. And then so Friday night, my homegirls came back and they were just like mad wasted. And then I was like, dude, I'm like trying to sleep because I gotta wake up for Undernight Invert EXT latest.
So what time did the final start?
10 a.m.
Okay.
That's pretty early.
Which is like
waking
Vegas
up
time.
early.
That's-
10 a.m. is kind of a nightmare in Evo because 10 a.m. pools. Like a lot of players will have their first matches of the day at 10 a.m. and just straight up sleep
It
through
used to
them.
be 8 a.m.
fresh.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but I saw Under Night, and I was like so glad that I slept well that night. I never sleep well when I go to conventions or events, but I did for this, and I was there front row. I was like, "Yo!"
It was a great set too. Like a lot
Yeah.
of character diversity. A lot
Yeah.
of,
Shouts out to Clear Lamp.
yeah.
He won with Byakuya, and I'm not a fan of Byakuya, but it's all good. Ohito was playing as Seth. I wanted to see Yuzuriya make it to the finals.
Yeah.
I forgot the player's name, but yeah, that's my girl, best girl, maybe, of Under Night. But yeah, it's just so cool to see Under Night make it to the big stage because it's it's an independent game, small game.
Yeah.
The game that kicked Melee out of Evo.
Yeah, I mean, Melee had its time.
I also
Not
talked
here to point any fingers.
no, I also talked to French Bread, one of the battle planner from French Bread, who does all the Under Night streams for them.
Cool.
And I brought it up. I was like, "How do you feel about being the game that kicked Melee out?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it was." He was like,
Let's not create beef where none exists.
"I know," but it's just it's a funny.
Why you don't want those melee players coming at us?
Yeah, it's a funny in joke, but yeah, Evo is so cool because there's like Artist Alley, the side tournaments, saw competitive Catherine out there. Gang Beast had a wrestling ring in the middle of the convention floor.
Oh, wow.
And they were just like having fun Gang Beast
Interesting.
matches. Yeah.
What was your
it's-
biggest surprise?
What, competition wise or like
Like,
from
what
just
was
being
something
there?
about Evo that just really shocked you? Like, you kind of, as somebody, you play fighting games, but you're not like somebody who's going to local tournaments regularly or anything. You're kind of approaching it as somewhat of an outsider. Like, what was a big surprise?
Big surprise. Maybe not to bring up Under Night again, but I went to the food court at Mandalay Bay and
Okay.
They got these nachos, right?
Go
that's,
on.
that's also where I did my interview with French Bread in the middle of Mandalay Bay's food court. But
Appropriate.
also
Are you sure you just weren't interviewing a loaf of French bread?
spoke Japanese. It's really wild, but there was like about 100 people there to play Under Night off of laptops and PS4s.
They
that
will
they
show
brought
up anywhere.
In the food court?
Anywhere.
in the food court 'cause
on
there's
the
like
bus, in the
stations, yeah.
bathroom,
yeah,
like
there's hella outlets out there, so they can bring out their monitors, PS4s, and charge their laptops. And I was there. There was like 10, I think about like 20 setups in the food court, and like 100 people, just a crowd there. I went there, like, what the hell's going on? I was like, yo, they upgrade from the Taco Bell parking lot.
I was gonna say, isn't that like the Under Night MOs, just playing like the weirdest location
Yeah,
possible?
Yeah.
multi-blend Under Night,
there's one on a
that's their-
train. There's famously in the bathroom.
Yeah. And I was talking to the lead dev, and he's like, the weirdest place I played Multi-Blood was in class with my homie next to me on a laptop. And I was like, hey, I respect it. So
Just like holding the controller under the desk.
Playing with the arrow keys.
I was also surprised by how much I was into the Smash finals. I mean, we know why I was into the Smash finals. Joker.
So was
There's
that
video evidence.
that was the end of Evo, right? That was the kind
That
of
was the
last
final,
marquee
yeah.
thing. What was just real quick? What was the kind of procession on the main stage from I guess Under Night to like?
So Saturday, the finals were Under Night,
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball,
Sam Show.
Sam Show, and then Mortal Kombat. And then Sunday was BB Tag, Street Fighter, Tekken, and Ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is good practice or not, but I kind of take that as like an indication of what matters in the fighting
really?
scene. Is
Yeah,
that
okay.
Is that
It's a blend of
I
like
don't know that that's
like I just
necessarily
assume every
indicative.
game leading up to the end is like kind of more well thought of than the last one, or
they kind of they spread them out a little bit. They put like usually lately the trend has been 2 anime games, so they'll kind of split those 2 up, like BB Tag and Unis.
you don't want to concentrate the anime too much.
No,
Yeah, it's
but
dangerous.
then like number of entrants, expected number of viewers. That's a big that's
That
why
definitely plays a
kind of
case,
Ultimate.
yeah.
I feel like was last is they had the most entrants. They could probably look at tournament data and see that they were going to get the most Twitch viewers off of that.
One thing though is that they put BB Tag at the front of Sunday, and Sunday is where they moved the whole thing to the event center, so it's an arena.
Yeah, Mandalay
Like-
Bay.
Oh, there's different stages between
yeah.
the 2 days.
It's like where they
between
have
the 2 days,
UFC fights.
Huh.
Yeah, dude, but better.
Whoa.
Yeah,
really?
it's like full on stadium,
It's
like
like
giant
in
stage
the
middle.
round kind of thing, like
Yeah.
with like giant screens hanging.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
The stage has like
Huge
I don't know if they
stage.
did the thing this
Okay.
year, but the stage like they're able to project graphics onto the actual stage itself,
Yep.
where they can show like the characters that they're using or their names or whatever.
It's a real ass like event.
Production, yeah.
High production value.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like the international.
And unless they
Yeah.
mess up They're in Street Fighter V finals. Put up the wrong name.
The Pokemon World Championships are not that fancy.
No, barely.
Evo's got it
Have
going
you been?
on.
Oh yeah, I go every year.
Where are those?
Different
Oh,
places.
they
So
moves
the
around?
first year I went was the first year they stopped having it in Hawaii. So
Oh,
Okay.
fun.
but this year it's in DC. But I mean they have like special graphics, but it's like in a regular ass convention center. It's not like where they have actual fights.
It's not quite anime yet.
No blood has been spilled.
There's where you are playing. Yeah.
Yeah, but on that, like they put BB Tag in the front of Sunday, and that was the least amount of entrants, but also the least amount of people were kind of there. I was there front row. I was like, Cross Tag is like the best fighting game besides Under Night. But
What do you think of those announcements?
I
There's a
like them.
tank. They're putting a tank in BB Tag.
We've been saying like Senran Kagura is coming to Cross Tag, another Ruby character, which is really dope, and then a big ass tank. And I'm like, what? Like it's from Akatsuki Blitzkampf, but like,
Is it one of those like tanks, like girl tanks, like a tank?
No,
that's a
it's
girl?
No, it's a skull tank.
It's
Oh, like an actual, just a tank.
It's like a big old tank with that big old skull on it.
and it takes up more than half.
No
the
idea
screen.
what is being discussed right now.
Wait, so it's not because there's anime where like it's girls that turn into like warships or whatever.
Okay. Or Sega Saturns, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's just
not that.
there's
No,
no
okay.
girl in it.
This is from the game where Akatsuki from Under Night was first in, and they're
Yeah.
putting him in too, which
Akatsuki
I got,
Blitzkampf. Yeah,
I got pretty hype about.
that's weird, but I mean, I was saying like, hey, Chie, shouts out to her. She's in BB Tag as Persona, but like she's been kicking the shit out of tanks for a minute.
That's right.
So
There's a
ain't no
history.
thing. Ain't no
You
thing.
got the counter pick already lined up.
Yeah. So that's some weird announcements. Speaking of weird announcements, I mean, the Tekken 7, shouts out to Arslan
my
Ash,
God.
who won.
Yeah.
Tekken's incredible story. If you don't know the guy who won the Tekken 7 Grand Finals at EVO this year, also won at EVO Japan, he knocked out AK, who's a Filipino player. I mean, shouts out to my Pinoys out there. It's okay, because Arslan Ash's his story is incredible. His
really
journey
is.
from Pakistan to the biggest stage in the world, being the best Tekken player. Amazing story. But
And like not having a lot of access to other top level players to play
Yeah,
against,
yeah.
but still showing up and
and now Japanese players and Korean players are looking at him and they're like, "Hey man, let's get in the lab and see what's up with it."
yeah.
Did I hear what's the Tekken guy, Harada? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Did I hear he was like pulling some shit over the weekend? Like
He was competing. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
right.
I saw that
Is
too,
that what
yeah.
it was? Like
He won one of
tried to
those games.
compete in his own game.
Yeah, I saw it on stage.
He did okay.
I
Yeah.
was watching the
Is
under
that-
quarterfinals and then
Is that
Harada's-
legal?
Oh sure.
Is that legal?
I mean, what's he gonna do? Patch it halfway
seem
through
fair.
for all the other characters?
Just gonna go into the debug menu
Yeah,
in the
get
middle of
on
the
the
match.
phone, like execute order 66.
He
man.
shows up at the Pokemon World Championships too because of
what?
Pokken,
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
and he's always there with his friggin' sunglasses and
Yep.
like 6 people around him.
I gotta
does
say
have
that
enough
dude
trash.
deserves a lot of credit for like what he's been doing with Tekken. Tekken has just year after year, I feel like kind of a breakout story is wow, Tekken was crazy. Like Tekken every year gets a little bit better, gets a few more entrants. Like it's growing in a way that no other fighting game really ever has, and like a lot of that comes from the top. Like he's been doing a lot of really good work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird thing though is that Solid Snake
Yeah.
tease. That was
That was strange.
That's a
I
big
know.
yikes from me.
Oh, in Tekken?
So
Well-
Because I heard people talking about Snake, and I assumed it was like a Smash thing.
yeah, well, so yeah, like that's the thing. There have been so many leaks up to that point. Like the Street Fighter stuff leaked. The Riot fighting game has been a leak forever, but like people
that'll-
just assumed it was. So like audio played, and this was like between like winners finals
Yeah.
and losers finals. Or something.
it was I think it was losers finals going into grand finals.
Yeah, so like right before grand finals, you just hear the
Codec.
sound, the codec sound, and you like I was watching the stream and they kind of cut it off there, like the audio at least, and the commentators were just very confused as
Yeah.
what happened. They were trying to move on without acknowledging it.
Yeah, and on the floor, is like everyone was like, "Oh my God, there's going to be such a cool announcement," and that carried on until the end of grand finals because that's when Harada gets on stage.
Yeah.
Says, "This is what's new is coming to
Like
Tekken."
last year they announced Negan,
Yeah.
you know, and
So
like,
everyone's like, "Oh, they want to keep people around for the end of grand finals, so they don't just leave the stadium or whatever." And it was just like David Hayter line saying that was some good ass Tekken or like something, and then everyone was just like tripping, like, "Yo, is Snake coming to Tekken? That'd be wild!" And then like there's separate shoutcasters on the floor for the actual event, and then one of the dudes, he's like a big Metal Gear fan, and he was playing it up too. I mean, I'm sure it came from a genuine place, but he was just like, "Yo, that's just wild! Oh my God, I can't wait to see like what that means." And it actually didn't mean anything. Apparently, if I recall correctly, Evo like put out a statement not too long after. It was like, "Hey, we
did,
we
yeah.
played a bad
It was
joke."
a joke. It was supposed to be a little.
Well, they didn't say it was a bad joke. They was like, "Oh, it's just a joke. We didn't consult with anybody." And then David Hayter was like,
Yeah.
"And you didn't consult with me. Don't do that again."
That-
And
yeah.
it was kind of scary. He was like, "Don't use my voice without asking me ever again."
That's a yikes for me, dog.
Yeah, that's. Huh.
But
Weird.
also, I wish it had been like, "I'm dummy thick," and
I know.
you know,
It could have just given a better line. Yeah.
it could have been that. That would have been a good joke. That would have been totally. I think everyone would have been like, "Oh, we forgive you."
Mm-hmm.
But I think the king of all announcements there was that new Guilty Gear trailer.
Oh,
Good lord.
Holy
man.
shit.
Guilty Gear.
It's a whole new game.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
It
Brad and I are
is.
just
What?
like, "What?"
Brad,
You know how I kind of snuck Exerd into the best looking game category.
Yes.
This tops that game.
We
Okay.
we cannot. We need to officially. This is the last year we can have a best style category because when that game drops in 2020, there will never be a game.
Persona
What is it-
5
what is it
Royals
called?
coming out in 2020. So
I think they just calling it Guilty Gear as far
Nice.
as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
That'll make it easy to Google.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I
But
need-
it's beautiful. It's got they're doing they're bringing back the spin around our characters to show how cool these 3D models look
Yeah.
in 2D thing.
I mean, Guilty Gear Exerd already looks great.
Yeah,
Like, this
like
is
it
like
still
next
looks
level.
good.
Yeah.
And this, oh boy,
Yeah.
I'm
'Cause
excited.
it's using that same like
They showed like one
Dragon
new
Ball
character.
Dragon Ball uses sort of that same style.
Yeah.
Grand Blue Fantasy is going to use some of that style as well. Take it to the next level with the next Guilty Gear, man. Because whoo-wee.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, that sure looks like some anime.
Yeah,
It is
This won't
definitely some anime.
This won't play
Look
well
at-
on
look at
audio.
Oh, that
Yes.
looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so
Just
good.
know that we're looking at a very good looking video right now.
Type Guilty Gear into Google.
And you'll find it.
Press the enter
And
key.
this right here, stage transitions.
Stage
That's
transitions.
Tekken 7 does that.
Okay,
really
that
well.
actually does look pretty good.
Yep.
And for a 2D fighting game, like that's pretty bold.
Look at
Man,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a-
dude,
That's not bad.
anime's so good.
The anime is strong.
Speaking of anime, actually, did you see anyone who cared about Kill la Kill at all?
Arxis was having a little Kill la Kill like side tournament at their
Aw.
booth.
Yeah. I do want to check that out because
so
like
adorable.
I played
Yeah,
that
it's cute.
game and that game has like some really cool, crazy depth in it that I don't think they ever need to show off for like the people who are buying that
Sure,
game and playing
yeah.
through the single player
Yeah.
and
Well,
mashing X.
I mostly just care about the alternate story.
Story, yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
I love that show, but
Apparently, Satsuki gets a lot more detail. In that. I don't think
Satsuki!
Sorry, Brad.
All right. So Smash, how did that?
Smash was like
Go.
really tense. Like a lot of real like game 3 last round, crazy upsets.
And
I don't
MK.
That's kind of all I need to
yeah,
know. Jason tapped out.
Sorry. I mean, I was going into like, Smash. I don't know if I'll watch it, but MK Leo, who's the Joker player,
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta be there. I ran to the event center because I wasn't sure if I was gonna go. I was like, nah, I gotta go. But it was an incredible matchup because it was Pokemon Trainer versus Joker, and I was like, oh, this is Kallie versus
Anime!
Michael. I was like, who's gonna win? Like, I don't want to tell Kallie about this if Pokemon Trainer wins, but yeah, Tweak versus MK Leo, and so MK Leo came out of the losers bracket. So if you make it to the grand finals from the losers bracket, you have to win 2 sets to reset and then actually win it. And he was down 0-2 in the first set. So if Tweak won that next one, it's over. He wins. But MK Leo came back, won 3 in a row to reset the bracket, and then won 3-1, I think,
Yeah.
in the finals.
Wow.
And it was just incredible because like high level Smash is fast.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
really-
it's hard to follow.
It's so much more engaging for me to watch than Smash 4 was. Like the changes
Yeah.
that they've made to the systems make it a lot more fast paced. People have a lot more options. It's not a lot of dodging and rolling around. It's more you have to be more offensive in this game. Like you have to
I
go out
definitely
there
see
for
a
edge guards.
wider like character spread.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a heartwarming moment for me because like they have whoever the players are playing their characters are also on like the big ass screen on the sides too.
Yeah. Sure.
So it's like MK Leo and huge Joker character art, and then Pokemon Trainer character art and Tweak, and it's just like there's so much spectacle to it, and like to see my boy out there like on the big screen, like this is a Smash, this is a fighting game, this is Evo, and I'm seeing like so much Persona representation on there. It's like, man, and then the way in which he won was just like I got a little emotional over there, man. I was like, yeah, that's so insane. And also in cross tag, the guy who didn't win, but he was playing Akihiko and Mitsuru, and I was like, Persona 3's out here in 2019 at Evo.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This Evo is if for Persona representation, Evo was popping. Also, Artist Alley, like half them things was all Persona, like fan art and keychains.
I feel like when I was there, it was like half Persona, and then like everything else was either Dragon Ball Z, Overwatch,
My Hero.
My Hero.
Oh, yeah, that's why
Yeah.
My Hero.
One sole bad guy.
Yeah.
I did find
soul bad guy.
I found some biking artwork that was pretty
Okay,
all right.
all
So
right.
you know, let's shout out to biking from Guilty Gear.
What do you think the split in the FGC is? I mean, are there a lot of like, I'm not trying to start beef here or anything, but like, are there a bunch of old school like Capcom heads
Yeah, totally.
kind of
totally.
thumbing their nose at Smash being the final game and stuff like that?
Probably.
Or-
Oh, sure there were. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna whenever you get new entrants in, you're gonna get a large group of people who only care about their one
Right.
game,
Yeah.
which is like how I was the first Evo I went to. I only played Street Fighter. I was a Street Fighter 4 player, and that's all I cared about. I didn't give a shit about anything else. But just being around it, like going there and being around it, you learn to love new games. Like that's the first Smash tournament I ever watched, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go check this out a little more. And then eventually, I loved that game. Like that's what Evo is so good for. And they kind of gave this speech before. I think it was before Smash. I think it was between Tekken and Smash about like the FGC is really one of the only gaming communities that you get this. Like you get people from all sorts of different avenues coming together, all repping different games, but like putting that aside to just be there for fighting games. And it's true. Like, you know, like what is there? DreamHack. Like you don't go to DreamHack as a Counter-Strike player and be like, oh, actually, I love Dota now. It's like, it's not really a thing.
Yeah.
There's so much synergy between the different fighting games out there. Like I come there for the anime fighters, but I'm out there like, oh, Sam Show is actually popping. And the
top 32 for Samurai Showdown, I think, was my personal highlight.
Yeah.
It was really cool seeing all those old like Street Fighter 4 players.
Yeah, Vaid made
getting top 8.
Yeah.
You know, like Kazunoko and people in there, Justin Wong. I have to say, I was a little disappointed with the outcome of it.
Yeah.
The player who won was Infiltration, a player who got kicked off Capcom Pro Tour last year and dropped by a sponsor after he got convicted of abusing his wife.
Domestic abuse, yeah.
Yikes.
Wow.
And the way
They let him back in?
They let him back in, and like the Evo tweet was like
that tone deaf.
after
fucking
his
tweet.
absence, Infiltration came back and won, and then
A
Evo
triumphant
champion.
return, they called it.
Yikes.
Oh my god.
And that's just such a like A, he shouldn't be back at all because of obvious reasons, but B, like it makes it, and this is a much lesser thing on the tier list of why he shouldn't be back. But like for me, it's hard to like go to my friends and be like, you should watch this Sam Show top 8. It was really cool. There was a lot of really good matches, but like I don't want them to like have that same cloud over them that we all had watching that.
We were watching it at home, and that was the bad guy in our house. So my 3-year-old was upset that the bad guy won.
Everybody maybe don't root for the domestic abuser.
Or don't even let him in, maybe. But
On the flip side, Sonic Fox out there put on a show.
Did I
Dragon
see
Ball
he was like top tier in multiple games?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like very different
He-
games.
he won MK. He got second at Dragon Ball.
Did you see his tweet last year where it was like, I'm gay and the best this one he did a like I'm gay and the second best Dragon Ball fighters.
I was like, I respect it, yeah.
Yeah.
But being there because him and Goichi, who's the one who won Dragon Ball Fighters,
They have
they have
such a
such
history.
a wholesome rivalry.
Honestly, one of the
It's-
best rivalries in fighting games.
It's so
like,
heartwarming.
Is there anybody else out there that excels at, because those are very different games, right? Like, is there anybody else out there that places that high in that many?
Leftin
Not that
is,
high,
is the kind of only person I would go to who's a top tier Smash player and then also very good at Dragon Ball. He like beat some really good Dragon Ball players. Like he has some good victories under his belt.
Because I would assume most people just pick a game and stick with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Can't imagine
or like
jumping between games. Like that's so
yeah,
confusing.
like
your
jump-
muscle
you can jump
memory,
between
yeah.
some games, like maybe a Soul Calibur and Tekken have some 1-to-1s, or like a Sam Show and a Street Fighter have some 1-to-1s. But like Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball are so different. Mortal Kombat is this like very footsies and like projectile heavy,
Slow and
game,
heavy
slow
feeling.
and Dragon Ball is just like the fastest game in the world.
Yeah. Yep. So lots of fun out there in Evo.
That's cool.
Man.
Sounds,
Also-
sounds,
jealous.
like, sounds like a good year for
yeah. Shouts out to also Kayane who won,
Yeah.
or who she didn't win, but she
went
placed
top
top
eight,
8 for
top
Soul
8.
Calibur as 2B, and I'm like, hey.
I saw Yoko Taro tweeting like, "Thank you for playing 2B at the tournament."
Oh,
Yeah,
Man.
she's dope.
I don't know a whole lot about fighting games, but this makes me want to go to Evo.
Yeah,
It's
It's
honestly
so much
good
fun.
time. It's a good time.
It's huge too. Like that convention, it gets bigger every year.
it's
Like,
2 full ass like ballrooms of just like concrete floor and a whole bunch of fighting games around the edges and crowds. The DBZ crowd was wild. Every time there was a spirit bomb, the entire crowd would be like, whoa.
Or like the salad throws.
Yeah, they're so into it.
Did you get to check out any of the like indie fighters that they always have on Showcase?
Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
One in particular, I played. It's in early access on Steam, but I played Bayani, which is a Filipino fighting game inspired by Philippine history, and I'm out here to represent. Shouts out to
who do we get in there? Who's repping the squad?
You got a Jose Rizal in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is he wearing a barong?
No, he's actually in. I think he's in like some kind of like military suit. He has a book and a sword.
Okay.
And I'm like, of course he's got a book.
Right, yeah.
Jose Rizal. Shouts out to him. R.I.P. Small boy.
It's a while ago, but yes.
Yeah. But
It's never too late for an RIP.
I played it. Yeah. Shouts out to Lizzie Cuevas Lizzie Killian. She helped me get into Even also.
Oh, nice. She's like
hey,
PR manager.
Yeah, she's who helped us last year.
yeah, and then she was like, hey, but you gotta check this out. And I was like, all right, yeah, so check that. It's an indie fighting game. It's rough around the edges, but man, do I respect them to putting that out there. Gotta represent.
Yeah,
So,
that's always fun. There's always like, it seems like there's more every year, but you get like, it's like the place for all indie fighting game people to go because it's all fighting game fans there.
Yeah.
And so you get to see some weird, cool stuff. It's the first place I saw like Punch Planet and
Did anybody have that Les Mis fighting game?
in a hotel room somewhere.
Is that real?
It's made in a fighting game.
Okay,
major.
so
It's a fan made thing.
That's some bullshit.
Oh, dude, I would take Jean Valjean fighting Lapu Lapu. Fuck yeah.
I think you could have that.
You can have that with a little thing called
yes.
Dugan.
I think that exists.
Okay.
damn. But yeah, I think that's the only one I got hands on with in terms of because I was like, I gotta do this for all the Pinoy Pride and Pinoy Pride out there. So you know what I'm saying.
Did you buy anything while you're out there?
I bought mad stuff at Artist
Yeah!
Alley.
All
I came back like every time like you and other folks go to conventions, y'all always come back, and Jordan always come back with cool stuff. Like Jordan hooked me up with some Hatsune Miku stickers, and I'm like, hey,
And she's
shouts
like
out
secretly thick in that sticker
It's
too.
what-
It's great.
yeah, we don't need to get into that.
No,
We don't
yeah,
need to talk
Jordan always brings back like stickers and stuff.
Shouts out to thick Vocaloids, but and
Finally, somebody's saying it.
yeah. So I bought a lot of stuff for the folks around the office because there's like I bought something for Lucy for her birthday, Persona 5 keychain. Came back with because when do you get Guilty Gear like charms at a convention? Like, almost never. And so I came back with some Guilty Gear stuff.
Sweet.
I got a really cute Isabel keychain where she's just like sleeping.
She's like being lifted by balloons. It's really
she's
cute.
like exhausted. I was like, that's a mood. So I'm gonna get that.
That's a Kallie mood.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. There's some artwork I wanted to take back too, but I was like, I can't travel
That's
with
tough,
it really. Yeah. So, but yeah, there's a lot of money to spend there too. Shout out to the artists out there too, because they put out
They
some
hustle.
legit good stuff. So.
I love going to like Fanime and like just cleaning out the artist alley.
Yeah.
And I have so many prints that I don't have room up for on my wall, but I'm just like, I'm glad I supported an artist.
I'm like a sticker fiend for fan.
me
I'm
too.
always just like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm
Yeah.
looking for your stickers.
That is
please.
the good
Nice.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Sounds like a heck of an Evo.
it was
Seems like I think
hell
it
of a time.
gets bigger every year.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, I hope it gets bigger, and I hope Under Night's still there because Under Night Edinburgh they announced
A new
going full circle. It's
CLR.
Claire. It's called Claire. No, it's called Claire.
Claire.
It's Under Night in Birth EXE Late Claire.
CL-R.
CL-R. So that's coming next year, and I
That
hope.
ice guy.
Yeah,
in there.
Londrekia is his name, and I was like, well, that's a mouthful, but all right. And I hope that they're on the main stage again next year
I
with
do
their
too.
new version because I'm gonna enter and I'm gonna get my ass whooped. 0-2.
I'll see you in pools,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
let's go.
Hey man, you say you competed at Evo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's for next year.
Cool. How about we talk about the ultimate fighting game, Fire Emblem?
The battle, the eternal battle between the three houses.
It's a game with fighting in it.
Yes,
That's
tons.
true.
There is fighting in it.
There's
That's true.
fighting. There's games. There's a game at the end of this
And-
month
and
that
it's
I'm
anime.
working on, and it's
Yeah,
anime.
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
best of all three worlds.
I'm
Seems
sorry,
like,
Brad.
it seems like the big thing. I mean, there's like jack shit coming out this week, and also that sounds like that game is like 800 hours long.
Yeah, I'm halfway through my second playthrough.
Oh,
Ow.
Jesus.
Okay.
I played 95 hours before writing the review.
Yikes! Did you finish it at 95? Or
Yes.
Okay.
I had that was 80 hours for one playthrough, and then 15 of my second playthrough by the time I wrote the review, and now I'm halfway through that second playthrough. Still working on guides and stuff. I can't stop playing it. It's so good.
It's the first game I have in a long time that I wake up in the morning and like will think about it.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh, time to check in. Like I'll have my tasks from the previous night that I didn't get to still fresh in my mind.
Yes. I'm just obsessed. I love the marriage of you're managing these units. There's a lot of customization. So like previous Fire Emblem games, your characters would have like 1 or 2 classes they could be, and this is like, oh, you're anything you want. You look at that character and you're like, okay, you're good at like sword and horseback riding, and so I'll figure out what to make you. Yeah. And then you train them in those things. And then the beauty of it is, no spoilers, but it's well known that there's a time skip.
Yeah.
After that point, like obviously they've grown up a little bit. They can teach you. So it comes back. So like you invest all this time in them, and then there's something called, I think it's advanced drills. I forget what it is, because it's like faculty training. So in the beginning of the game, the teachers can teach you things like, oh, I need to raise my sword level. I'll go to this teacher and they'll give me a lesson or whatever. After the time skip, your students can then teach you in the skills that they've mastered.
That's great. Because I was wondering, because I'm like approaching,
it's cute.
I'm on like B plus for a lot of people's skills, and I'm like, well, like I'm gonna get this to A way earlier than I think I do. Is there any point to this? But hearing that it can kind of like come back. That's cool.
Also, it goes up to S plus, by the way.
Okay, of course.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's only 1 plus, honestly.
Yeah, S plus. Yeah. So I thought that was such a good touch, and that just keeps you like super invested. There's also a really good new game plus.
Okay,
so
that's good to hear.
Oh yeah, it's like I really like what it adds. So I'm playing on hard this time, which just makes the battles harder, but it also like changes how many activities you can do on your days off and stuff, and so managing your time becomes a little bit more tricky.
Okay.
But you can spend a currency called renown, which you earn from battling and competing quests. You can spend that on unlocking skill levels, unlocking support levels, unlocking like you have a professor level that controls how many activities you can do on your free days.
How much money you get.
Yeah. So you can spend money to like, for example, get a support level with a character you maxed out in the previous playthrough, so you don't have to do all of that again.
Nice. Okay.
And then you can recruit them.
And that lets you focus on recruiting people from other houses a little more. Yeah.
So you can skip over, like, I really like this character. I want this character on my team, but I've already done all these support conversations. I don't need to see them again because I know what they are. I'm just going to buy that and then move on to like, and because it's a controlled by currency, you can't just like unlock a bunch of shit in the first month and then have nothing to do. So it's pretty well balanced. I really like it. And then you can change people's costumes, which is always fun.
So when I was started to get really into it, they kind of introduced this you pick a house and they introduced the idea that you can recruit students from your other houses. And I was like, first completionist thought, it was like, okay, I need to get all these students. I need to like figure out how to min-max and get all these kids in my house. I want to have the best house. I want to put all these other houses to shame. There's just like one guy standing there like, oh, I don't really have anyone. But like I started working down that path and I got my first recruit. And then I went to fight a battle and it was like select 2 units. And I was like, I don't want to put anyone that's not like my core team in here.
Yeah.
Because like you're limited to a certain number of units per battle, right? You can't just like, if you have 50 dudes, you can't just roll into a mission with 50 dudes. But I was just like, I actually don't, like I like these other students and I don't really have like a great magic user right now that I could like slot in and maybe I want to get one. But honestly, I'm so attached to my house that like these other kids can kind of fuck off.
Yeah. I struggled with that a lot. My first playthrough, I picked Blue Lions, and I really liked the kids. Like that's why I picked it, because like before you pick the house, there's like you get to meet.
It's like a meet and greet.
Yeah, you get to do this little meet and greet with everybody. And I was like, I really like the Blue Lions. I'm gonna pick them. And I didn't recruit like anybody. I was like, I just love my sweet innocent little babies.
Yeah.
And then the new game plus, one of the things you can unlock is class mastery. So like, if you fight enough battles as a certain class, you unlock a new ability. So like before we recorded, you were talking about you unlocked like Vantage.
Yeah.
You get that. You can get stuff like that from class mastery. So recruiting is actually super important, because if you want to play as their house later on, you can like quickly unlock those abilities.
Right.
So I was like, I've really fucked myself over. So I've been doing a lot more recruiting in the second playthrough as the Black Eagles.
I feel like choice of house has become surprisingly contentious online. People seem to have some very strong feelings.
You don't say. Yeah.
About I don't.
Yeah, I
Did you
mean,
pick-
What do you think? I'm a Black Eagle.
Okay. I feel like
Of course you
Golden
are.
deer, baby.
I don't
Of
want to.
course you are.
of course.
I don't want
The
to.
meme house.
Exactly. It's like I'm playing Recess.
It's like Hufflepuff, but for Fire Emblem, right?
Let's not go to Hufflepuff.
yeah, I saw it described as yellow by moron patrol or something like that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Everyone is
Wow.
so funny.
yeah.
I don't want to generalize too much, but I feel like I've seen the most Black Eagles throwing shade at other houses on Twitter.
I mean, I'm not gonna shame anyone for their house choices because you really don't like. You get a very bare picture of the students, like very like one dimensional. Like I'm gonna kind of tell you everything you need to know about me in one sentence,
Yeah.
and you pick based off of that. And like, I hate, I'd say a third of my house.
The Black Eagles, I think, has the most irritating students.
Yeah,
I
Frederick,
Just depends on how down to be irritated you
Dorothea.
are.
yeah, Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Sucks.
That's what it is.
But I will say, like, the support conversations do flesh out those
Yes.
stereotypes a whole lot.
Totally.
Because you get a lot of like anime archetypes. So it's like, here's the playboy, and here's like
Here's the
flirty girl.
Oh, she doesn't like to leave the house.
Yeah.
and-
Oh, she's one of the best characters.
great.
Yeah. So they do flesh that out. So it's like once you get to the end of or get even halfway through a playthrough as a house, you're kind of like, oh, I really learned to appreciate even the ones that suck.
I'm sorry. Is it the same story that you are undertaking with a given set of characters, or does every house have a completely distinct storyline?
The first half is the same like A plot,
Okay.
with different like B plots, and you get different details. So like in the Black Eagles, you'll see one side of a story, and like Edelgard is the leader of that house, and she has like much more information.
I thought you were going to say a complicated backstory.
She does have a complicated backstory, but she'll have more information about like certain things. And then like if you're playing as the Blue Lions, Dimitri will have a different perspective on those things, and you'll get different details. The second half is like super different though, depending on the house you choose, and like shit gets really real. Like the Blue Lions had a whole like racism B plot. Like I was just like, this is a lot.
It definitely leads
a
on at the
ride.
beginning of like, we're having fun, and
Yeah.
I'm this fun professor, and I'm fishing with all my students.
I'm the favorite professor.
I'm the cool one. There's the hot teacher, the old teacher, and the cool teacher. I'm the
Yeah.
cool teacher.
Yeah, and then it's like, what if there was fascism? And you're like, ah! So it's a ride. I'm fully intending on doing there's 4 endings that I know of,
Yeah.
and I'm entirely prepared to do all 4.
I
love
will
it that
purchase
much.
New
Sounds
Game
like an
Plus,
undertaking.
for sure. I'm shocked by something I completely missed until I was like a little ways through. Is it called support, where you have the conversations between like students to raise their
Yes.
support level?
Yeah.
After you like so you'll do stuff like if Unit A attacks next to Unit B, their bond will grow a little bit. Or like if you have dinner with, you can have a meal with 2 students, and the 2 students you pick their bond will grow a little bit. And once that bond hits a certain number, you activate a conversation between them, and you get to see them talk to each other, and they're all fully voiced, completely different from one another. And
Yeah.
it's like really like how these students would interact, because they all have these personality types, and sometimes they get along with each other, sometimes they're clashing. Like
Yeah, and you really get to see the depth of the character through those side conversations, because they'll have conversations with you, like, oh, Sensei, I'm sad about this, and like you silently like nod at them and give them advice. Which is like my one problem with the game. I wish your character was voiced.
I do too.
But the support conversations between the students are like, some of them are super funny. Like Bernadetta is the one who's like the recluse, the hikikomori. She like, there's characters that like really try hard to get her to go outside. And there's one, I think I posted it on Twitter, of just like one character brings her outside, and she's like, she sees the sun, and she's like, I'm prepared for death. Take me. And he's like,
Same.
don't die. It's just the sun. Like, it was so cute. So those details are awesome. I love those. There's some characters that can't bond too. So when you're like planning what meal to do, you should check. And there's like a button you can hit. If you hit X on that menu, you can see their bonds with each other to help plan your meals. I do a lot of min-maxing.
Yeah, no, I started getting in there for like making sure all of their motivation is maxed for instructional purposes.
There's so
If you
much
don't
to manage.
If you don't feed your students, they won't learn.
Which is like how real life works.
Also
I think.
same.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, in terms of difficulty. You played your first playthrough on normal. I'm like 7 chapters in, I think. Does it get much harder? Because I feel like that's maybe my only problem is I'm blazing through these battles.
Yeah, I would say like if my recommendation for like a first playthrough would be to play on casual, which when units die, they don't die permanently, but on hard. So the battles are harder, but you have that a little bit of a less risk.
Like if you just fuck up one too far and like lose a unit, you're not gonna restart the whole thing.
Yeah. But I played on normal classic, which is permadeath, but normal difficulty. But yeah, I would recommend switching it for a first playthrough hard and then casual. And now I'm doing hard and classic, and that's like if you put your character one square to the right, they could die, and you have to like really think about where you're putting them. And I love it. It's super deep. The strategy is.
Did you get that turn rewind on?
Yeah.
Hard and classic?
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
it's called Divine Pulse, and it's you can rewind like any number of turns to undo a mistake, and you have limited rewinds, which you can unlock as you progress, so you can get more.
You can spend your renown to get more pulses, I know,
Yeah.
at the very least.
And there's a paralogue battle, like a side battle you can do to get more too. I really like that because I think it shows how deep the strategy is, because when you're like you make one mistake and then you rewind and you change one little thing and it all goes right. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
I was not smart. I was really dumb just now. I should have done it this way. And I think it enhances. And then you're not constantly soft resetting. Although I do soft reset sometimes if I'm like, I don't like how I spent my day. I'm going to start over.
I've definitely done that.
Yeah.
I also really like the I mean, this might be blasphemous. I like that they took out their weapon triangle.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Like-
going to ask last week. I just assumed that was
Yeah.
still the basis of
So did I.
everything. Is that not,
It's
not the case?
No.
No, like there will be certain things where certain weapons will be effective. Like certain weapons are effective against armored enemies or flying enemies or mounted enemies and
Okay.
stuff like that. But
It's not a paper rock scissors kind of configuration anymore.
yeah.
So you're not going to find yourself like, I'm a sword user going up against the wrong kind of enemy and I die instantly. It's more like, did I have units that like each other next to each other in battle, and did I combine their abilities well? Or there's something called combat arts, which is I think that was first introduced in Echoes, the Shadows of Valencia remake on 3DS. That's like it to use those things. Like some of the combat arts do emulate the weapon triangle, so you can have a combat art that's really good against mounted enemies, for example. But that costs weapon durability. So you're
And then
balancing.
there's battalions,
Yeah.
like which I barely use, but
You don't
they're
need them a
so
lot on
useful.
normal.
No,
They're super useful.
they're basically like one-offs, not one-off, but they're spells that everyone can kind of equip one, and they'll do various things. Like sometimes they'll set certain tiles on fire, and enemies in there will just take damage over time, or like they'll move units or stop units from moving. And
Yeah, they're like little mini armies you can equip, and they provide like passive buffs too.
yeah,
On hard, they're super. I have like one equipped on every character because like there's certain enemies that the only way you can kill them is by just like having 6 of your guys around them,
Yeah.
hitting them with battalions.
yeah,
I think the combat arts and battalions in particular do a lot to replicate the depth that you're used to from Fire Emblem, but like it's less hidden. Like you can really see like, okay, this weapon's gonna do this. It's not just like, well, I have a sword, so I'm screwed against this.
right. Like,
Lance.
oh, you don't have to be like, well, I have to make sure I have one of each at a
Yeah.
high level, and then a B tier or one of each. Like,
Yeah.
you can just be them a lot more like, nah, my dude just uses fucking swords, and he just cuts dudes.
And it's super customizable, which I think
Yeah.
adds to that like replayability, because you're like, what if I tried this class this time? Which I'm finding with like some characters have 2 they could definitely be based on, like Sylvain. I had him as a wyvern rider, so he's like on a dragon my first playthrough, but he also could definitely be like a horseback mage. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that and see how that goes.
lot of mounted possibilities in this game.
Lots, yeah. I don't like that they kept gender specific classes because it feels kind of lame.
That is weird.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like you have a unit, for example, like Linhardt in the Black Eagles is he's like a reason and faith user, so white magic, black magic, dark magic. For female characters that use both, they can be their like last class could be a Gremory, which is both magic types. but males can't unlock that, so I don't know what to do with this character. Like once I get to level 30, like there's just nowhere
it's
for him
just
to go.
like a dead end for character progression.
Yeah,
kinda
because
way?
he's a dude,
Well, I
so
mean,
he can't have that class.
Yeah, he like there's other classes you can have,
But not at the
not-
master tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that is just kind of like it's not a huge deal, but it's like
It's a weird oversight.
It's just
It's
weird,
like something
yeah.
that feels antiquated. That they've changed so much. Why
Yeah.
not change this?
It
little
feels
thing?
very Japanese.
Yeah.
And then I get really irritated with people on Twitter talking about romance because there's no romance. I hate
Yeah,
like
I didn't actually know that until I saw your tweet.
Yeah.
Like, because I just assumed that I would eventually get to a tier where I start dating my students.
yeah.
But
There's only like the hint of marriage. Like there's like it's not just with students. There's like knights, and the time skip is like the excuse for why that's okay, but they still call you professor after the time skip. So I was like, I don't like that. It's not a big deal. But yeah, people are like the dating options. I'm like, it's not dating. It's like a little menu that's like, if you could marry someone, who would it be? And then you're like, maybe this guy.
it's
and
like
then
a pinky swear.
it's not anything close to what Awakening had. So I'm just kind of like,
Shouts out to Awakening.
that's not a thing. And I think the game is better for it. I think it makes more sense. I really am glad that you're not like having extensive romance sequences with your students.
Hey,
It's
man,
a war,
yeah,
goddammit. Things are serious.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the waifu wars, side war. You gotta have. I mean, you can still have the waifu wars and on like talking about
and
who's best girl.
they stoke the waifu war flame so
100%.
often by like showing you the top
Yeah.
waifus of the month or whatever.
Yeah.
So straight up, like between loading screens, I'll be like, "This is the list of the people that had most tea parties, and this is the most gift recipients." And they'll be like, "Thank you," in their little voice clips.
Yeah.
as it-
Arigato gozaimashita. Yeah. There is that like anime bullshit where you do the tea parties, but it's really like so minor.
You can like if you I had my first great tea party.
Oh, yeah?
happen. So basically,
Have you had perfect tea time?
Yes. So
That's fucked up.
it's fucked up. But so what happens is basically you can invite somebody out to tea if you have a certain relationship tier with them, and you'll sit down, you choose which tea to serve them, and then you get 3 multiple choice topics.
Like a dating sim.
And you'll be like, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about cute monks,
Yes.
battle plans,
Maybe.
or my future?
Cute monks. Cute
And then
monks.
you have to kind of guess what you think they want to talk about.
Cute monks.
Cute monks.
And
Always
Cute
cute
monks.
monks.
it's you'd be surprised because
Episode name.
sometimes you're just like, oh, you for sure want to talk about cute monks, and they don't. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to turn
And
off
they
the
kind
power.
of they're
and-
kind of
Them out of
like
the squad.
yeah, and if you get it all wrong, they're just like. They're like looking like to the side, like, yeah, thanks for the tea, professor. But if you get it right, if you get a perfect tea time, it says you can talk with them forever. And what that means is you can like zoom in on them and get multiple angles. And sometimes they'll like blush, and when you
Yeah.
zoom
Oh,
in,
no.
you're like,
and you can
I suppose you could keep looking.
and then you can like do these little button commands that are like joke, banter. But it's like it's such a far cry from the Fire Emblem Fates face petting minigame that it's like
Oh,
whatever.
God, yeah.
That's like Pokemon Me, but for people. But yeah, and then you could like give them gifts and just shower them in gifts.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I want to leave now. I don't like that.
I had my first super successful one was with Hubert.
That's so awkward.
And he's just all stoic and goth, but also blushing. It's great.
It's like it's just weird enough where it's like funny, not awkward. Like it's like
Yeah.
an awkward sequence,
It's like
but it's like
it's lighthearted anime. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like gross anime. It's the like it's very slice of lifey in a way. It's just like I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And like we're on a cute date. We're not on like a I'm perving on you
Yeah.
outing.
yeah. I've been playing in Japanese, so there's like parts that aren't subtitled in the tea party. So I'm just listening, trying. Like there's certain phrases I understand, and certain phrases I'm like I have no idea what they're saying to me. But sometimes it'll just be like this tea is nice, but other times it's like, oh, thank you, Professor, and I'm like, what? But yeah, it's such a good game. I'm so obsessed with it.
Sounds like a lot of game.
It's
a lot.
Oh.
so much game.
It was my longest review by over 1,000 words.
Jeez. What did you give it?
9.
Okay.
My second, so I mean, I'm the reviews editor. I read a lot of reviews. I write some of the shortest reviews on GameSpot. Like, I'm very brief in a lot of my reviews. My Red Dead review was 1,600 words, which was like a lot for me. I was like, wow, I wrote 1,600 whole words. Like, a lot of mine are like 1,100 words. And then I turned in my Fire Emblem review and it was 2,600 words. I was like, hey, I had a lot to talk about.
And then you had to check it with the reviews editor, and you're like, "That's me."
A little
it's
wordy,
okay.
but I guess.
I guess it's fine. Publish.
One thing I was going to ask before we go to break is, are there any mobile trappings in this game? Because when you talk about like people learning lessons and maxing relationships and currencies and stuff, like I just immediately envision like timers on everything.
Oh,
and, like,
no.
Well, like the only thing you're limited by is you can do so many actions per day. You can't spend any money to increase that. That increases organically as you raise your professor level, which is done by just pretty much anything you can do. But
yeah, I mean, I didn't mean like literal like monetary transactions, but like, it reminded me of like God, what was it? Nino Kuni 2 having a bunch of like real world timers on everything.
Yeah, no, there's
Like,
nothing like
it's
that.
not-
It's
it's not
much
like
more in line with like a Persona in terms of like it's a RPG. Like you
Yeah.
choose what to do.
You're
and,
just managing your time.
yeah. You can min max, but like that's the extent of it. Like
Okay.
Yeah. I think the pacing is super good in that way. Like, I think it is really well paced with those, even with the limits on what you can do.
totally.
All right. Cool. Well, how about we take a quick break then, and come back and talk about some more games.
Yeet.
Hey, look, I know you've got dreams, I know you've got ambitions, and I know you want to realize those ambitions online because everybody knows the internet is the place where dreams come true. Well, now you're in luck because Squarespace is here to make it easier than ever to launch your passion project online. Look, whether you've got a business you want to start, work you want to showcase, content to publish, products to sell, Squarespace is the tool you want. They do it all. They have employed world-class designers to make some beautiful templates that you can customize yourself with just a few clicks, and with those templates, you can easily make your own a beautiful website. Squarespace has got a powerful e-commerce functionality, so you can sell anything you want online, and they provide analytics, that's data, those are numbers, that you can stare at while your site grows in real time. There's nothing you'll ever have to patch or upgrade ever. That's a pretty long time. And everything you make with Squarespace is optimized for mobile right out of the box. That means it runs on phones. It's even quick and easy to buy your own domain. And if you ever run into trouble, the kindly folks at Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support are standing by to help. Hey, millions of people, from designers to lawyers, artists to gamers, even restaurants and gyms, have used Squarespace to turn their great ideas into something real. So if that sounds good to you, you can head over to squarespace.com/bombcast and sign up for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/bombcast, offer code BOMBCAST.
Look, I don't need to hear about your grunt compilations.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Save that for your own time.
So there's which is kind of like a classic what's going on. There's ha ha ha, which I think is like
Okay,
a horny.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like there's like a oh. And he does like one with his kid where he goes ha ha, and the kid goes ha ha.
Ben, don't scare off our guests, okay? Come on.
This? I didn't sign up.
America's tool man.
Sick.
All right.
Gross.
On that note. Michael, I want to put my head together with yours for a minute about Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh, no.
Because it sounds like you enjoyed it maybe a little more than I am.
I did. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so I just hit level 20.
Okay.
There are basically, you've got a hub. You're running around in Nazi occupied Paris with some side missions and stuff. But ultimately, they're like, hey, there's 3 dudes you need to kill or whatever.
It's like 3 main missions. You got to take down these towers.
And those are all marked level 20. So,
yeah,
so
they,
I just
they,
hit
they have skull icons, I think, before you reach level 20.
Yes.
But once you get to level 20, which is not that it's not that hard to get to level 20.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but once you get there,
you level very fast.
Yeah.
So my question is, if I go do those 3 missions, is there one more mission after that and then I'm done?
there is
Because if that's the case, then I might still finish this game.
yeah, well, there's like 2 more missions after that.
Okay,
So yeah,
all right.
they're called Brother Towers.
Yeah.
Those are probably the best parts of the game because
Okay.
they're very exciting. Like that shit moves fast. That game is very intense, and it's pretty hard too. Like New Colossus was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And this one is a little bit as well. And they have really good sequences if you're into like first-person shooters. I think it's some of the most exciting stuff that the new age of Wolfenstein has done. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I think especially when you start juggling weapons, because it has RPG elements, and then so a lot of those enemies have like I can understand if people have a hard time telling what those indicators are.
Yeah,
the two different armor
UI
types.
elements could be a little more distinctive.
Yeah, there's like two different armor types, and then weapons correspond to that.
Like they're both white boxes. They're just like slightly
one's
different
hollow
size.
and one's solid.
Yeah, it's like at a distance, not easy to tell.
But I got into a rhythm with that stuff where I'm like busting out like the shotgun for, those with the solid white bars, and then I would switch it up to my laser craft work weapon, and then I would burn down big ass mechs with the hollow icon. So I got into this rhythm where I was juggling a lot of weapons in these very intense firefights, and I just enjoyed those sequences so much.
I actually like that aspect of the game too. I think that, like the combat, like I said last week, like they've never quite dialed it in on these new Wolfenstein games. Like they never quite found the right balance of difficulty and stuff. But like this at least has some, hesitate to use the word intelligent elements, but like you do have to think about the weapons you're using against specific enemies and stuff.
I think it works well, and it's not a looter shooter. Like
no,
it's not a schluter.
Yeah,
Thank you for using the correct parlance.
Gross.
And I mean, I like the idea of an open world with like dynamically spawning missions and like places to explore, but like I feel like the world is really cumbersome to get around. Like they don't point you at the objectives very well at all.
Yeah, I do like the levels are the main hubs. Those levels are, I think they're a lot of fun to navigate though, because Arcane Studios helped out with Youngblood, and it shows.
Yeah, like finding like sewer tunnels and open windows and stuff, like alternate ways to get around is fine. It's more like the way they point you at objectives is just it's just a floating HUD element with a number on it. And like they don't say, hey, go this way or this way, and like I spend more time looking for the objectives.
Sure, yeah.
Than doing them.
And they could have let you pull up a map.
Yes,
I think that's
like there is no map. Like that's kind of the problem.
You have the mini map, but obviously like there's a orange icon off in the distance on the map, like on the border of the map.
It's like,
so
do I go left or do I go right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I picked the wrong one. Now I've got to double all the way back around. Like it's not well designed.
Yeah, I kind of got over it with the fact that I'm just like running hella fast and double jumping.
Yeah, like it feels good to play that game, which I feel like is more than I could say for New Colossus. So, so that's cool.
But I mean, yeah, once you get through the three brother tower missions, which are really good, you go into kind of this next phase of the game, which is like I can't recall, man. I've reviewed the damn game, but there's like two more main missions after that leads into the finale. Finale's not that great, but the lead up.
I've seen two different people online or on Twitter say that they got to the last boss, tried to beat it, and then uninstalled the game.
Oh my god!
Without finishing it, they were like, "Yeah, not playing that again."
Oh man,
so
that's unfortunate.
Curious to see what that last boss is about.
You do have to figure out a certain element to the fight, but once you do, it's fairly straightforward.
Does the story ever pay off? Like
it's tough to say because
does it have like those big bombastic
moments? Like New Colossus, like
does?
Wolfenstein 2 is like one of the most audacious games I've ever played.
It's got a little bit of that.
I feel like I'm not getting that really from this game.
Yeah. The story is a lot lighter. If there's any cutscenes, it moves pretty fast.
Yeah, like there's just less to it. Like they just don't give the characters much time to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer because I was super interested in those characters, like from what I've seen.
What you get out of Soph and Jess, I think, is really good. I mean, that's debatable among different people, but for me, playing it, I'm like, these two characters are badass, and they're very different from what we know BJ and Anya to be. And of course, they're from a different generation, so it makes sense. And I just like their attitude. I was really digging that. And I mean, there's no real, it doesn't culminate to something huge or revelatory, but in the story, there are a lot of implications for where Wolfenstein will go.
That's why I have to play this game.
Yeah.
I need to know what the setup is for the proper third game, assuming that happens.
I mean, I'm assuming the third game ends with fighting Mecha Hitler, right?
Like you would think.
That's what you would think.
Well, we talked about that last week. Like they basically start the game off by saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, Hitler's dead."
Yeah.
Which they did not depict at all in the second game.
Yeah, I played the intro at E3, and it like starts with that like BJ, the man who killed Hitler, and I was like, huh?
I was like the last one wrong?
I was like genuinely incensed. I was like, wait a minute, you're not gonna let me kill Hitler? Like fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me think about what Wolfenstein 3 would be. Is that I don't think that, like, at least this is my perception, is that I don't think it would end with killing Mecha Hitler or something. That there's more to this, because obviously Youngblood takes place in 1980, which is well after where Wolfenstein 2 was and where presumably where Wolfenstein 3 will be. And you're still fighting Nazis in Europe. So I almost get the feeling that Wolfenstein 3's message would be like, you cut the head off of a fascist organization, you're not done. That's where the fight starts, essentially. And, killing Mech Hitler might be the intro to Wolfenstein 3. And from there, it's like, nah, your work's not done. This shit is proliferating everywhere. So you kill one leader, someone else will spawn up. It's like this terrible disease of fascism that will like grow out from that. So I think there's gonna be
I like that theory a lot.
Yeah, I think there's Wolfenstein 3 is gonna be a lot more than we think.
Also, in fairness, if there's any series that could bring a character back to life just so you can kill them again, probably this one.
Yeah.
That too.
Even if it's just a brain in a jar hooked up to a robot or something.
We get to kill him again. Hell yeah.
I could see that.
God, that Hitler scene from 2 was so good.
Fucking two.
One of the funniest things I've ever.
It was so bizarre. Like,
yeah.
and they pull it off really well. Yeah. So the thing about Wolfenstein 2 is that they struck a really good balance of being serious with balancing that with levity.
It gave you like an Inglourious Bastards kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Well, Youngblood is straight up like, nah, we're just out here killing Nazis. And also there's some implications for what can happen after Youngblood, but it doesn't go into the same depth. It doesn't tackle the same themes as New Colossus. But it's still, I think it was a really, really fun game. And I liked what they did have story-wise. I dug in the characters. I dug for what it was, and it was also like it's also a $30 game spin-off.
That's fair.
Like your expectations can be fairly low, and then for what it is, I just think it's a really good package.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yo. Hi.
I hear you like hunting monsters.
I do indeed. I get to do quite a bit of that. A couple weeks ago over at Capcom, we had a hands-on with Monster Hunter Iceborne. It's the expansion to Monster Hunter World. This is kind of the G rank expansion that's been prevalent in previous games. This adds a whole new master rank to the hunts. So it's a side story of sorts. You start off by finding out that these Legiana are proliferating in these areas that they don't normally habitate towards, and you start following them, and you find this big landmass. That's a setup to this new area essentially, and we'll be having some returning favorites and brand new subspecies as well. That's primarily what I got to fight. Were some subspecies. Those are shakeups of currently existing monsters, and they'll have different attack patterns and
Rathalos,
so
but with snow.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, like our pink Rathian over there. It's a Rathian, but it's just a little bit different. Yeah,
this one's got jingle bells on it.
Exactly. Jingle Bell Monster. No, we fought like a coral Pookie, which was.
Excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. So the normal Pookie, you familiar with him?
There's no normal.
Oh, you're probably not. But this one is set up in like the Coral Highlands, and it starts sucking up water, and then it shoots it at you, and it's.
Is that the place with the giant mushrooms from the original game?
It's like the under the sea kind of.
Maybe I didn't get that far.
Maybe not, but it's just disgusting. A coral Pookie is not anything you really want to.
Are they sending you back to the old landmasses?
Yeah,
periodically as well.
Eventually as well. So this adds like a whole new rank. So you're going to have whole new quests, and almost immediately they'll give you stuff to do back at the the OG areas for sure. But this adds like a lot of quality of life enhancements as well, and they're combining a lot of like elements and giving you more menus and more customization and
more
stuff.
Menus. Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. That's more fun. But stuff that you can use to anyway.
Sure.
Quality of life. It's fun for me. Yeah. But
is it something that like if I haven't played World yet, am I like shit out of luck for this?
Kind of,
Okay.
There's definitely the stuff like the quality of life enhancements that you'll get right away, but there's also the clutch claw, mechanic, which is really cool. But for the most part, this is stuff that's post game.
Okay, so it's like it's for the seasoned player who's been dedicated.
Can you get the clutch claw as a new player at the beginning of the regular game?
I believe
and
so.
Use it the whole way through, because
Yeah.
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it is actually. I mean, it's a grappling hook. Grappling hooks are fucking fun, man. And they add a strategic element to the fights as well. So it's not just you grappling onto the monster. After you've done that, you've got an option of just like unloading all of your slinger ammo into it. different classes do different things. So like, some classes will like soften up, the area that you're hitting. Other classes will like, get more slinger ammo from where they hit, depending on the monster. And the strategic elements are you can actually hit the monster and like have it turn different directions.
Oh, shit.
So if you're up against a wall or something, you can smack it and it'll smack against the wall, do damage, or you can lead it toward the trap. Which is really cool. So it's just an awful lot of fun to use the damn thing. It adds quite a bit to fights. But yeah, other than that, we tried out the new subspecies. We fought one Bariath, which was a returning monster, but new to world, and we didn't cart all day. Like we were there for like 5-6 hours. We didn't cart all day until the goddamn Bariath hit. He's tough, really, really tough for, and everybody in there was, pretty well seasoned, they knew what they were doing. So it's tough. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to, even with it being on the PS4, which, I made my jump, I played on the PS4 for hundreds of hours, made my jump to, the PC, played a bunch over there. And I'm like, this is the place to do it because of the faster load times. And going back to the PS4 was excruciating.
I cannot believe they are not using this opportunity to get all the versions up to parity.
Yeah, they say just exactly what they said before is that they just want to give it time to bake and make sure that they do it right, whatever. But
they say when the PC version's coming out?
It's out this year.
It is this year?
Yeah, it will be this year. And then this one's out September early 6th, I think. But
that's soon.
Yeah, that is soon. I'm looking forward to it. Cool. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to those load times.
You can pet your palicos now too.
Yeah, you can pet your palicos.
Wait, did they not have that before?
Do
they really not have that?
Yo, you can pet your palicos. You can ride
Do you get
some
any,
of the
like,
endemic
stat
life
boosts for petting your palico?
Not that I've noticed. Maybe passive boosts or something like that.
Can't spell palico without pal.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you can romance your palicos now.
What?
No, excuse me. No, you can't. You can't.
Tea time with your palicos.
Tea time with my cat. No.
Do you want to talk about cute monks or giant hunks of meat?
Ooh, both. Oh, there's a new cook.
What's the difference?
She's this old granny type. She's making stew, and she wants you to eat it all and make sure that you're all fed and
granny type
warm.
palico.
Yeah,
okay. Love that.
Okay,
feline. Yeah.
What happened to Meowscular Chef?
Well, there's two different areas.
Okay.
She actually came out of retirement to serve this new area. She trained the original Meowscular chef.
Show them how it's done.
Wow.
Yeah, and she came out of retirement just for this new area, and she's gonna make you some stew. Oh, and it looks
make sure
delicious.
You're fed and ready.
Exactly.
Love that.
Yep.
Speaking of cats.
I got to meet Michael's cat.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you watched my cat while I was away at Evo.
She's pretty chunky.
Hey,
you got a fat cat?
She's getting a
She's
little chunky.
super cute.
She's
That's
so
a lot of
cute.
love.
Yeah.
Her name
I
is
know.
Sushi, and she's really freaking cute.
She whines a lot when we come home from trips, and then she just wants to get pets and all that.
Yeah, she's really cute.
Oh, yeah. Shouts out to my cat Sushi. You better
Life-
be behaving
If you're
yourself.
watching,
Shouts out to Sushi.
Sushi a premium subscriber to Giant Bomb?
I'll ask Will to hook her up with something. Speaking of cats, though, can I talk about Final Fantasy 14?
yeah, totally.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Your
I gotta
Final
say
Fantasy-
before you get into this, Michael stops by the control room maybe once a week just to talk about Shadowbringers and just implant the idea. It's like, hey, are you playing it yet?
Oh, you figured out
How
my
far did you get
strats.
into it? You guys should really make a video about it. Final Fantasy 14. Someone needs to talk about it, Jan.
When are we streaming Final Fantasy 14, Jan? I know, so I'm just saying, dog.
Are you still plugging away?
Still plugging away. Fire Emblem has taken me away momentarily.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect that.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let it pass, Doc. I'll leave you alone for a minute.
Thank you.
But yeah.
Rory was playing 14 on UPF on Friday, and what was he saying?
Oh, shit,
the
I missed
post game is what is it, 100 quests you have to do before you can move on to the expansions or something?
Yeah, about that.
Boy.
Well,
Give or take.
so there's A Realm Reborn, which is the base game, and then you get the post-release quests that lead into Heavensward. You finish Heavensward, you get post-release quests that lead into Stormblood.
Is it really Heaven's Word? I thought it was Heaven's Sword this entire time.
Heaven's Word. Yeah, it's Heaven's Word.
Me too.
It's like towards the heavens.
Heaven's Word.
Heaven's Sword.
Oh my god.
And there's also an organization called Heaven's Ward in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck that.
It's a really good thematic fit though with what the Heaven's Word story is though.
Okay. So it's called Phoenix Down because it's like the down of the
dog. Was it you that tweeted about that? You're like, I just realized what that meant, and I was like, oh shit! I didn't know that's how
that is how I learned it. That is what it meant as well.
And then Stormblood leads into
Shadowbringers.
Okay. And then the Destiny one is
Shadowkeep.
It's really been screwing with me.
A lot of shadows out there, man. Damn.
A lot of shadow games.
Yeah.
One's bringing it, one's keeping it.
Is the near stuff in 14 yet or no?
It's coming. I talked to Naoki Yoshida about what that stuff is, and I asked him, like, hey, how involved is Yoko Taro? And he said, it's like he's building out a full ass game. Like he's dedicated. He's writing the scenario. He's designing a lot of the stuff. And Yoshida-san also said that it's going to play a lot closer to Nier than it is like Final. I think like thematically, it's going to be almost like a Nier Automata spin-off in many ways because just of how involved Yoko Taro is on it. But those are going
to sacrifice your max level character at the end.
Yo, that would be wild. Or like, I'm sure that he has something up his sleeve for this. But those are going to be what's called Alliance raids or 24-player raids, and those come out in like 0.1, 0.3, and 0.5 patches, and they're I think like 6 months apart. I'm not entirely sure, but those usually come out a couple months after in succession of each other. But yeah, that stuff is coming. And it also gives me time to get there because I'm only in the middle of Stormblood. I put in like 250 hours into Final Fantasy 14 at this point. And man, I love that game so much. Like I tried so many MMOs in my time on this earth. And the only one that really hit with me was Anarchy Online.
Wow.
Which is,
Whoa.
That's a long gap, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I played a lot since then, but like that's the one that like that shit hit different. And so I tried WoW and I tried EverQuest. I tried WoW. I tried to get back into WoW when was it 2007? What was the expansion in 2007?
Burning Crusade, probably.
Burning Crusade. Yeah. I tried getting into there and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. I thought Old Republic was going to get me because Knights of the Old Republic.
He's a big KOTOR fan. Yeah.
Shouts out to Knights of the Old Republic, man.
That game rules.
That game is that's up there with my favorite all time. So I thought Old Republic would get me. I was like, shit, I'm not really feeling it, even though they have really good story elements in Old Republic. So then when I came around to trying Final Fantasy 14, I was like, I don't know if this is I'm gonna try it because they had like a promotional thing. I was like, a lot of people are talking about, Erica and Lena, they were the ones who on Twitter just talking about it all the time. I was like, you know what? They've convinced me. Yeah. And so I jumped into it and it's been a trip. Like Final Fantasy 14 story-wise has been so impressive. Like I've connected with that game in a way I did not expect because of the themes that they hit and how well it's all put together. Realm Reborn it can be a little bit of a drag, but I think it's all worth it because once you get to the good stuff, you have all of that to bring with you because you care about the characters, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, the homies. Hey, shouts out right there. And then and the thing is, Final Fantasy 14 is very political. Heaven's Word is all about like organizations within a government who are all doing shady shit in the background to get a leg up on each other. And then at the end of the day, it's about, how there's like Highlanders and Lowlanders, and it's about, a revolution and conjuring up the will to kind of break a cycle of war between humans and dragons. And it's like, well, there was long history of misunderstanding.
You were just hitting these like, I'm like, man, like modern, like there's so much lesson. And the dragons. And I'm just like, okay,
I'll get into it. Yeah, a lot of it's very political, and same thing with Stormblood is like, hey, there's an oppressed society that's been like conquered by the bad dudes.
I've heard people that I know to be like honest Final Fantasy fans saying like it's their favorite Final Fantasy story stuff.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's like one of the best like MMO stories, period.
Yeah.
In Stormblood specifically,
in
Shadow.
Bringers.
Yeah.
Dude, I meant Shadowbringers.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
I did play Shadowbringers on release. I got 2 characters.
I was gonna bring this up.
That's why I was talking about cats.
Can we? Can you tell the people
Yeah.
what your characters' names
If
are?
y'all tuned into the Giant Bomb night show during E3, I have my main character is Chie Satoneko. Neko, cat, get it? And then Yukiko Miyagi is my alt character, who I level boosted to play Shadowbringers when it was on
Got
release.
them cat girls.
Yeah, so and they look exactly like their actual character designs from Persona, and it's also made me connect with the game in a different way because
Such a nerd.
I was like, oh, cool, yeah, I'm playing
Connect, huh?
Yeah. I'm making like parallels to like Persona characters that I know and love. And then it's like, no, this is like a alternate story where like 10 years down the line, they get transported to another realm. And now they got to take the revolution to Eorzea. And now they're just whooping ass there. And I'm just like, yeah, this is just dope, man. Like I'm saying, like, dude. I've enjoyed it a lot. And it makes me feel smart because I'm like doing dungeons and raids. And I'm like, yeah, my attack rotation's on point. And I'm playing Ninja, which is a complicated class, I think. And you're just juggling so many things, and it's like on the lower DPS scale, so you have to like work really hard to be effective. And
So
I was
like, not only are you a cat girl, you're also a genius.
yeah. So and shouts out to the Giant Bomb Free Company. Last night they said they were full, so it's gonna be hard to join. But
Don't worry, just keep plugging, you get there.
yeah. So shouts out to Vinco. Y'all really helped me out a lot through my time with Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, and a lot of people are saying like Shadowbringers is like the story has such spectacle and grandeur that I'm so excited to get into because I've only touched the like up to level 73. And I found out about things that I hadn't known before because I just needed to capture and just get a taste of it. And then it was really weird because like some plot things have already happened, and then I went back to finish Heaven's Word. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how they bring that back. And then going to Stormblood, I'm like, okay, then I remember that from the earlier in Shadowbringers. I'm like,
Right.
how does this all piece together? So it's been a really weird experience to play Shadowbringers before I actually got there, but it's the intrigue is stronger than ever.
I feel like I'm at a fork in the road where the two paths are play this game or watch those like 14-hour story compilations that they have on YouTube because
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what it is. But the idea of spending 250 hours on a game that's not Fire Emblem right now is
Yeah,
understand,
I was
yeah.
going to say Michael's choice of words earlier was kind of ironic because it was pondering my time on this earth that made me stop playing MMO. Honestly. Like it was like the last time I did a slash played in WoW, I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Every
Okay.
time I look at my Steam account and see my Dota number.
Could have learned a new language in that time.
That makes it hard for me to recommend to people. I'm like, look, I know Realm Reborn might not seem like all that big of a deal, but yo, if you stick with it, if you like it, then
It is cool because like writing is typically the last thing you hear about
Yeah.
Yeah.
being good in an MMO. So like that's a nice change of pace for sure.
yeah, I love that game, and that story is hitting. It's all about revolution, man, from different perspectives too. And I
Would you
respect-
say it hits different?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's the most different this year. So yeah, I love that game a lot.
Cool. All right, let's move into the news for the week, which I doubt anybody
boy.
has been
Woof.
especially looking forward to this week, but here we are.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah. I'm sure we were all incredibly taken aback and saddened by the events in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio over the weekend, where 2 mass shootings occurred, which I kind of originally thought we would just sort of acknowledge and issue condolences and then move on until politicians started blaming video games, which kind of made it topical for this podcast, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21 people killed in El Paso, 26 injured, 9 people killed in Dayton, Ohio. I believe this line of reasoning started on cable news over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody?
That sounds. I didn't follow exactly where it came from.
I feel like I was seeing like some stuff bubbling up on Twitter of like talking heads from news clips
Yeah, I feel like
talking about Call of Duty and so forth.
yeah, it comes up often enough where I just kind of this time I was like, oh, we've already been over this.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to engage with this conversation because it's just a way for them to distract from white nationalism.
Yeah,
so,
or gun control or
any
yeah.
other pertinent issue.
It's very much them trying to just place the blame on something else, and video games is an easy target. Like also
Go back to Columbine.
I was going to
and,
say
like,
Doom. I mean,
Yeah. like Marilyn Manson and The Matrix and all this other shit. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about Joe Lieberman playing clips of Mortal Kombat fatalities like 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the floor of Congress. I mean,
Oh boy.
been down this road.
Yeah.
And there's so many
multiple
studies.
times.
there's been a lot of studies recently too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like people are starting to get really serious about these studies. Like on both sides, like people trying to find something and people trying to prove that there's nothing, and it's almost always coming back either nothing or what they do find is so like in the realm of variance or whatever.
Right.
It's also like these politicians never want to talk about guns because the minute that they condemn guns or they talk about how we need like maybe we should have a conversation about what gun control looks like, what we should do to move forward, what conversations we should have with people in positions of power. As soon as they say that, if they're funded by the NRA, like they're getting shut down. Like, and it's
so
not
many of them are funded by the NRA.
yeah, and it's not like me having a tinfoil hat. Like
No,
I used to be a political consultant. I know how these conversations go between lobbying firms and candidates who are running for office. I've seen these conversations happen, and it's more of a give and take. It's you on calls talking about like deals like, okay, we'll endorse you, to do this, do that. It's that's how it runs. So anyone who like Kevin McCarthy's on Fox News talking about like, oh yeah, we need to talk about like video game violence and all this other bullshit.
I've got his quote here from
Yeah.
that segment, but when you read it out loud, like it's such word salad that like I don't even.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read it. How long are we going to let, for example, and ignore at the federal level particularly, where they can do something about the video game industry?
Yeah. What about guns?
I'm not entirely sure how to parse that statement, but
It's like, oh no, we can't talk about guns, but let's talk about those damn video games.
Also,
like fuck off, dog.
gun control, like relatively conservative versions of gun control even are like one of the most popular bipartisan issues. Like if you interview people, it's like 82% of Americans think there should be more gun control or something like that. It's not like this is like some, the left is pushing this issue.
Yeah,
it's,
and
it's
like
something
those
that I
bills-
think everyone wants.
Those bills passed in Congress. It's just McConnell not addressing them. So, and then like Vox put out an article about like addressing the video game studies and debunking that myth that Trump was talking about it too. And the chart they had, you've probably seen it floating around Twitter.
I think Reggie shared it too.
Yeah, Reggie shared it.
wait, the Reggie?
Yeah, Reggie. The chart of like a bunch of different countries ranked by video game revenue. And so like South Korea is at the top, then it's, there's the US, Germany, Japan, just a bunch of different countries. And then the next to it is those same countries, but gun violence. And the only one, like it's just a bunch of small bars and then this huge bar for the US.
Right.
And it's like, the U.S. was not the highest.
Yeah.
South Korea was the highest.
South
video
Korea,
game.
China, like there's so many markets that they play more and more. And like the wildest one that kept popping up is just because it's the last video game they heard of, but everyone talking about Fortnite.
Yes. One of the Fox anchors speculated that the El Paso shooter probably played a lot of Fortnite.
What is it?
Fuck
Cartoon,
off.
for Christ's
It's
sake.
literally the most cartoony
Yeah.
I know.
shooter.
And also, like, yeah, a lot of people play Fortnite. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
He probably also ate cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Like that. It's the same. It doesn't mean anything. It's like they don't understand correlation versus causation at all.
No, you
Y'all
guys
want-
know that it's a distraction.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah.
don't want to talk about guns. Oh, but you want to talk about video games? That's what y'all want to talk about? Like, oh boy, and it's like, for example, Kevin McCarthy has an A+ rating from the NRA. Surprise!
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
he's not going to talk about guns. Like, because as soon as like I said, like as soon as they say some shit about guns, it's gonna be like, well, we can fund your opponent in the next election and then run like some bullshit ads about you. How would you like that? Like that's campaign finance and money in politics is like a very real thing, and I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the ESA needs to get out there and pump more money into getting video game.
That's not the
lobbyists.
organization.
I don't know that
I
the
would
ESA
want.
needs to do much of anything right now.
Great segue though.
Thank
Well,
you.
I guess I just, for the sake of completeness, I should read the quote from Trump's address yesterday about games. We must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence. We must stop or substantially reduce this.
I just love
That
that.
last part's true.
yeah. The culture of violence like I said at the beginning, I mean, this is a distraction from, systemic violence guns are a big part of it, but you also have the white nationalist rhetoric, particularly with the El Paso shooter. That is in itself a culture of violence. But I did see a tweet that the one thing that addresses video games that I thought was compelling was a tweet about how some big shooters work with the army or with gun manufacturers to get certain gun names in those games, and the tweet was not blaming video games. It was just saying, like, if anything, that just increases awareness of different kinds of guns,
Right.
And a fetishization of guns, but like not a obviously I don't believe that video games actually lead to any of these things. No. But I did think that was an interesting concept. I mean, you see a lot of like GoArmy.com ads with some games.
And the Army is like huge on Twitch. They'd spend a lot of money marketing on Twitch.
Oh God, they made a video game.
Yeah,
they made
America's Army.
America's Army.
I like that game a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I was like 14 and 15. I was like, America's Army is like a legit tactical shooter.
Free, right?
And free.
It's free,
Yeah, there we go.
It's weird.
That's how they get you. Yeah.
The IGDA, the International Game Developers Association, put out a statement that is brief, and I will read in full. IGDA and IGDAF response to recent tragedies in Dayton, Ohio and El Paso, Texas. Our deepest condolences and hearts go out to the victims and families affected by the tragic events in Dayton, Ohio and El Paso, Texas. Society has endured too many senseless acts of violence and horrific mass shootings. Blaming video games distracts from the broader issues at hand. There's an overwhelming amount of research that finds there is no evidence linking video games to violence. Video games do not cause violence, and we support efforts to discontinue this misguided information. So
that's good.
Pretty definitive.
That was a pretty good statement, I would say.
Yeah.
So, it's a shit situation for more reasons than can possibly be summed up in one conversation.
Right.
Even before all of that horrifying stuff on Saturday, I feel like things were getting kind of tense in our space Friday night when it came to light that the ESA, the governing body / sort of lobbying group that runs E3 and represents pretty much all of the big game publishers and so forth, had leaked the personal contact information for everyone who registered for a media badge for this year's E3.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Or maybe leaked isn't the right term so much as
Not protected it whatsoever.
publicly hosted on their website
Yeah.
And
for
then
anyone to download.
Put up on a URL.
coupled with irresponsible reporting when
Literally an unencrypted Excel spreadsheet on their website.
I know people who have already changed their phone numbers,
Yeah.
got hundreds of phone calls. People could get threatening. I mean, I think a lot of people who applied for media badges, if you work for a company, you're putting in your work address.
Sure.
But a lot of freelancers don't have a work address.
People with like a YouTube channel out there getting fucking.
Or there's game sites that don't have a head office.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely
It
some clownery.
Yeah, it puts a lot of people in danger. Like you just like say,
Totally.
like, oh, maybe my address is out there, my phone number is out there if you can find it. But like, I don't know, man. Like putting this out there with so many people that can cause so much pain and harassment
It's
and
a little
abuse.
terrifying, yeah.
It's like easy access to do those sorts of things to people who are already being harassed if they say something that bad people want to get them for, and it's a really hard thing to talk about as a member of the media. And man, it's like so many people are in danger because of this. You wouldn't think of it, but people can do all sorts of things and say like there's some journalists out there who are already saying like my DMs or my text messages are being flooded with hateful shit.
That's
after this.
awful.
So
Jesus.
it's not just like a hypothetical of like, oh, this can happen. Nah, it's happening, and it's fucking wild. to me,
It's
dog.
not.
Like,
It's also like when something like this happens, it's not just the harassment that does occur, but it's also just the specter that it raises of what could happen in the future.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
yeah.
anytime an unsolicited package shows up at my address now,
What?
should I open it?
Yeah.
Like,
My information wasn't included in the leak, thank God, but I got 2 robocalls yesterday, and I had a moment where I was like, was I in that second leak? Like,
yeah, well, that's the thing is
like, now I don't know. I mean, like, I am so grateful that my information wasn't in there, because I would get, like, I'd be screwed. My boyfriend was like, if you had been in that, I would have made like you would have had to go home, get your shit, come to my apartment, and not go home, because like I already get so much shit on the internet. It's just like, and then there are, I don't want to name any names if people don't know who's on that list, but there are big names who attract a lot of hate already on that list.
And it actually wasn't just sort of people you would consider traditional games press. Like, there were a lot of YouTube content creators on there. There were financial analysts from like Wedbush Morgan and Goldman Sachs. There were employees of like Amazon and Tencent. Like, it was a very broad spectrum of people working in this industry.
They had to have fucking known this. They have to know how sensitive this information is, right? Jeez. They know what people on the internet do and say and threaten. Like, it's.
Well, I mean, the reason the information was collated in the first place is because they provide it to I believe, to their member companies.
So they can invite.
I know that.
Events.
I believe I've seen said that they also sell a lot of this information to advertisers. I'm not sure what the situation is with that stuff, but like. The idea was, here is the list that we provide to our partners who are supposed to have this to contact for like media purposes. They just utterly failed to protect this sensitive information in any way whatsoever.
Didn't even try.
It's really some buffoonery, honestly.
And it's very dangerous.
And it got worse.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yesterday afternoon it came out that similar databases from 2 previous E3s are also out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So they put out the most like limp statement conceivable, I think, on Friday night or Saturday.
They just basically say, "Oh, we're sorry. We're gonna make sure it doesn't happen again." Like, y'all motherfuckers should have made sure it didn't happen in the first place.
I'm trying to find the full statement.
Also, like, thank God that seemed to those lists were taken down before the story that they were available went out.
Yeah, unlike the first one.
Right,
yeah. That's what I mean by irresponsible reporting. I mean, it's like journalism 101. You don't report on something that can actively put people in danger.
Yeah.
And you got to do your due diligence before you point that out to people. Make sure it's not, you can't find it. And that's not what happened in this case, which is just like there were a series of very unfortunate errors.
It's wild.
I'm trying to find the full statement, because in the initial statement they put out, they made reference to something about like, you know, in the 20 years that E3 has, 20 plus years that E3 has existed, this sort of thing has never happened before.
It's like, cool, okay.
But then 2 days later it came to light that no, in fact, it has happened twice.
You thought.
Because here are these lists from 2 previous E3s also floating around.
Jesus.
I just don't know what this means for the future of E3.
Yeah, it was already cloudy.
Like, I mean, for totally unrelated reasons, it's been kind of questionable. But
I can't see.
Like, who's going to want to give their personal information to the ESA at this point?
If there is another E3, like, imagine how bare it will be for media folk. Like, I'm not going to
even non-media folk. Like, even just because you have to imagine as
people pay to go to E3.
It happens to people who attend.
I'm sure that information's in some spreadsheet somewhere.
Yeah.
And then 100%. After that, it's like, okay, well, no one's here, and then like what publisher is going to want to invest in the E3 again when no one's there to like do the thing that you do at E3, and it's a chain effect, and I wouldn't be surprised.
It makes you think about like PAX and this and that, and just like, you know, hopefully this is a signal for those companies who run events like that to, hey, let's get like some cybersecurity people involved and make sure they can look over and be like, hey, you shouldn't have this on your website, or
I just sincerely don't know where this stuff goes. I mean, there was certainly talk over the weekend about potential class action lawsuits. It sounds like this almost assuredly runs afoul of the GDPR in Europe.
That's a hefty fine as well.
That's like up to a $20 million fine.
Whoa.
I don't see the ESA surviving this.
It's hard to say. I don't know what the ins and outs of their revenue are and so forth, but it's not good. I mean, this is a colossal fuck up.
Like, I think there's like I think Rob Zachney at Waypoint did a compilation article of like all of the details that to combine everything, and I think part of it was like linking to an article that said like almost basically like 48% of ESA's revenue comes from E3. So like if E3's fucked over, then it's like
wow,
you're done, son. I don't know.
I mean, it really puts the average member of the media in a tough position because you can't really afford to boycott E3 on moral grounds because it's like the big trade event of the year, you know?
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to deal with E3 to do your job, so
Right.
Yeah.
it is a.
But another aspect of it is that E3 was built out of, traditional like print media, and before there was streaming, before publishers can, do this kind of promotional stuff on their own. So part of it is E3 is in a way an antiquated.
Yeah, totally.
thing,
I mean, yeah,
so
it's clearer than ever, even before this, that E3
Sure,
was
yeah.
obsolete.
Yeah.
But this certainly is probably going to lead to a lot more people
so
questioning the value of continuing.
I mean, you won't be able to do everything that like we usually do. Like we have stage shows, interviews, we have access to so many people. We've got so many details, hands-on like that. But I mean, with the proliferation of streaming and access to information over the internet, I think that some people can still do what they need to do to cover what happens at events like this. So
yeah, indeed. And then with everything else going on this weekend, did anybody keep up with this situation with Ooblets very much? I kind of
only a little
had
bit.
my eye on it a little
The
bit.
initial announcement, I was
Yeah.
kind of following it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced. Is anybody familiar with that game? It seems like kind of a farming.
I have been looking forward to that game for a while because
Yeah.
it's just like
see it.
Animal Crossing meets Pokemon, but they don't fight, they dance.
yeah, I see a lot of trailers like at events and stuff.
I would guess there's a big market for that sort of thing.
I've been waiting for a release date forever.
It's really cute. It's really adorable. I like that art style.
I'm very excited for that
Yeah.
game.
They announced Epic Store exclusivity and kind of tried to get out in front of some of the predicted outrage with, it's kind of a detailing some of the rationale for it.
It's like, hey, we needed money to finish our video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't dig into it super deeply with all the other news breaking. It was tough to keep my eye on that situation.
Mhm.
But they did put out a blog post this morning with some of the
It's
feedback
It's
that
bold.
they have been getting,
Yeah.
which is pretty rough. So
Very rough.
yeah.
I would see, okay, like I went into and was reading replies, and it was just trash after trash after trash. There were a couple people in there who were sad that, like, hey, the current Epic Store does not support my country's currency. I literally cannot buy your video game anymore.
There are
Concerns like
certainly
that-
legitimate problems with the way that the Epic Store does business.
That
Yeah.
sucks. It's not a fun platform to use, the store. Like, I was trying to redeem a game yesterday, and it took me a lot longer than I thought. It was just bugging out, and I'm like, this is a bummer. Like, if you're working with exclusives, let's say video game exclusives, Xbox versus PS4, there's problems that you're going to have with both of those platforms, I just do not understand why. Like, the levels of outrage. This just seems like the thing to pile it on now, like the number one source for gamer outrage of the month, week, whatever you want to call it. But man, just people like some of the screenshots of comments they put up a Medium post today.
Yeah.
Like, just like, oh, I hope you die. Like, I hope you're like expletives about the dude's wife. Just
It's more threats and harassment going around because of some insignificant
because
bullshit.
of a business decision
Yeah.
that like
you said,
can support or not. I'm not saying you have to like agree with their decision. I'm not saying you have to like support them. You can boycott the Epic Store. That's fine. Do whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. Vote with your dollar. But like, you never need to send somebody a hate message because of the platform that they're going to put their video game on. There's a million more things you could do with your time that are beneficial.
Yeah.
In fact, the developer in that post this morning basically said they were flooded with new users on their Discord over the weekend. People who very possibly had never even heard of this game
Yeah, that's the
before
other
this
thing.
this blew up. And
Man.
just showed up to be mad.
yeah. I suppose this is developing as well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll just never understand that reaction. I don't get it.
Not
at
to
all.
that level of severity. No.
Yeah, no.
It's ridiculous.
I understand disappointment or
Sure,
frustration,
yeah.
but like, I hope you die is just another level of like, the fuck, man.
The shit that always gets me is they're like, oh, it's because it's China money. That's why they hate the Epic Game Store. It's because like China is gonna get. It's sort of the same thing with like the Face app. It's like, oh, it's a Russian app. we can't support it because it's a Russian app. Motherfuckers, America is doing so much shit with your data right now that you don't even know about.
Yeah.
This is the one that you're concerned about. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
boy.
don't be so you know if you're gonna be selective, it's a little telling if you're just picking the overseas ones.
This weekend was seriously just like the worst spectrum of
Oh,
examples
God.
of the internet's net negative effect on
Yeah.
society that I like could
Just-
possibly imagine
Oh.
in the space of 3 days.
Yeah.
jeez, man. Yeah.
Just the fact that I opened Twitter and I didn't know if people were still tweeting about El Paso or if there was another shooting, and I
Right.
had to go investigate that. I was just like, I'm
Yeah.
like out of feelings. I don't know
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
It is really weird just like being at Evo and like wanting to be really excited about what's happening at Evo and then like scrolling through my Twitter feed and in between matches and stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's got to be conflicting.
it's,
Mhm.
yeah, it's strange and so much fucked up shit is happening. Dog.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I guess on to the regular news.
Sure.
Poor Capcom.
Oh,
They just
Oh,
can't.
jeez.
They just can't make it to an announcement.
I guess
They
this is
were
how we
so
talk about
close.
Street Fighter 5.
There we go.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even leak it themselves this time. It wasn't.
It was
It's Steam,
yeah,
right?
Somebody
it
was Valve.
Yeah.
Valve accidentally pushed the trailer for the new Street Fighter 5 character announcement stuff live on Thursday.
And this was going to be a
Yeah.
big
like,
one.
like before Evo even like officially started, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hondo is maybe
Yes.
the most fan requested
One
character.
Edmund Honda has returned.
that would have gotten a huge reaction.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Like I saw
Oh,
this and
yeah.
like I thought it was cool because I'm old and I grew up Street Fighter 2, but like I wondered, I was like, I mean, okay,
He
Honda's
was in
been
4, you know. He was
yeah,
there in
that's the
vanilla
thing. It's
4.
not like it's been 15 years since people saw Honda or something. So I looked at this and wondered, like, would this have gotten a huge response? But like,
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
Him and Poison. Like Poison to a lesser extent, but they're still
She's
you know,
also a huge fan favorite.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poison's dope.
And then the other character's new, is that right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
Claire?
yeah, she's from
Lucia.
Final
Lucia.
Fight.
Okay.
She was,
Oh, crossover.
yeah.
Cool.
She was a playable character
Yeah.
in Final Fight 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And I went to a panel on Friday that had Ono-san, Harada-san, and Mori-san for Blaze Blue, and like and Daisuke from.
Did they
for
dress up?
Guilty Gear.
Because every panel I've seen them at,
No,
they've like
no,
dressed.
they didn't.
Okay.
But it was a live drawing panel, so they
Okay.
were drawing like each other's characters live. It was
cool.
really good.
Oh,
and
that's
then
cute.
Harada was poking. Harada and Ono both were like going back and forth, like
About the leak.
lighthearted. Yeah, they were trying to make light of it, and then I was like, oh, man, it must feel like really disappointing. But I mean, you know, they're trying to do the best with what they can.
Yeah,
despite that.
totally.
Ono tweeted, quoting Capcom's director of esports about the leak, just saying, "Today I don't feel like doing anything."
Yeah, it's,
So sad.
Yeah.
yeah, I can't even. That's very disappointing.
I get it.
Like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
every set of characters in this game has leaked ahead of time, right? Like I don't think they've had a single announcement.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to be huge for them. Yeah, this is on par with like their season pass kind of an announcement.
So is this not tied into a season pass? Is this like a one-off
This is a bundle.
kind
Yeah.
of character drop?
This makes me think it's going to be the last.
Yeah.
You think this is it for Street Fighter 5?
Yeah.
Ono also called it because he showed the trailer before the panel, and he was like, "Well, here's your annual Capcom leak." And he's
Right.
like, so resigned to the fact that these things happen.
Yeah, them and NetherRealm
this is-
really need to. Well, I guess Capcom maybe did figure out their internal shit, which is
Right. This wasn't on them
wasn't-
this time.
This time it wasn't on them, but yeah, NetherRealm was the other one who can't get anything out there without a leak.
Valve has gotten out there and publicly apologized for
Mm.
pushing this thing live.
Yikes!
We are
Maybe,
fans of Street Fighter ourselves, and we are sorry for the error.
Maybe
Yeah.
Capcom should take their game to another marketplace or something.
Huh.
Woof.
What else out there in that space?
I don't know.
Maybe you could tell me about competing platforms.
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, I wonder, God, how that would go. Everything is.
Probably like the Rocket League one.
Yeah, probably.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Rocket League's moved to Epic Games.
Did that
Yeah.
happen, or is that still in the works?
I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah. Riot,
Yeah. Speaking of leaks,
makers of League of Legends, have specifically Tom Cannon, who was okay. Let me make sure I've got this straight. Okay, Tom and Tony Cannon, right?
Yep.
Are they the
Twin brothers.
GGPO guys?
Yep.
Okay. Also the Rising Thunder guys
Yes.
with Seth Killian.
Right.
Yes.
Among
So,
others.
yeah, so their startup got acquired by Riot 4 years ago,
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
and they kind
Seth
of.
split off.
Oh, is Seth not
Yeah,
there?
Seth's-
anymore?
was
That's with Epic. Yeah.
Oh God, I don't think I knew that. Maybe I knew that.
It was pretty recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. saw him at Evo too. I was chilling with Seth Killian.
I always love
Cool
hearing his
dude.
commentary. Him and James Chen for that Street Fighter Finals.
yeah.
That's A+ always.
I love those dudes.
Anyway, Rising Thunder got shut down like not super long after the acquisition, right?
Officially, yeah.
But it wasn't always like kind of in a pre-alpha state to begin with.
Totally.
Like, it was never
Yeah.
very super far along, but people seemed pretty into it. Anyway,
It's a hell of a proof of concept.
Yeah.
Like I think they took it a step beyond, just proof of concept, obviously, because when it came out, it was, the netcode was great, the character design was great. That they were just kind of lacking some of,
Polish.
yeah.
so Tom Cannon referred to this as the worst kept secret in the universe.
Totally.
I can,
yeah.
I can confirm we are working on a fighting game for Riot.
You think?
The reason we did Rising Thunder in the first place was because we felt like fighting games deserve to be enjoyed by way more people. As big as things are, we think they have the potential to get bigger. So
So you
Yeah.
add some League of Legends
is that-
money in
yeah,
there,
like,
and
is it a league fighting game? Could it
I think
possibly
it
be
has to
anything
be.
else?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
could this possibly be anything else?
Teamfight Tactics proved that there is a market for games with the League of Legends characters that aren't League of Legends. Like that game's still massively popular. I feel like that was kind of maybe lit a fire under their ass to be like, okay, let's fucking do it. Let's make Teemo have an
I was
uppercut.
gonna say, here's the extent of my knowledge of the lead characters, Teemo. But I'm sure there's plenty of people who would be into that stuff.
Yeah.
this is exciting. Yeah, that's a good group of people. When we played that game, we loved it. And
Rising
just to
Thunder,
have,
you mean?
Rising Thunder. So when, they've got this kind of backing, man, sky's the limit.
To be fair, I mean, if they're sticking with that framework of a very ultra accessible fighting game, if you're
Yep.
trying to pull people over from a totally different genre, but with the characters they
It's the way
know,
to
like
do
that's
it.
the
Yeah.
way to go, right?
Yeah,
Is
maybe
to-
we can do like what Dragon Ball Fighters did for Dragon Ball fans.
Yeah,
who didn't
no,
play
totally.
fighting games. Yeah.
You're saying this League of Legends fighting game is going to get people to watch Evangelion eventually.
Let's get it. Yeah. But it's also cool that, to have a new IP enter the fighting game arena, I suppose.
Yeah, like
Yeah, a lot of things are legacy driven. Street Fighter.
there's a
Fighter,
lot
Soul
of legacy
Calibur,
driven ones and a lot of like low budget, cool like indie low budget ones. There's
Punch
not a lot
Planet,
of
yeah.
like ones that just come in with a bunch of money and a new IP.
Right.
That's a
So hopefully it works out.
they're working on their own internet, so maybe they
Yeah.
can have some
Right.
Hey,
cool
Internet
netcode
2 is
there.
on the way, man.
Maybe saying this publicly will hold their feet to the fire a little more on actually putting this out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
like projects get launched inside Riot all the time that never see the light of day. So hopefully they're fairly confident about this one. But we shall see.
Hopefully soon, yeah.
Yeet.
God damn it!
Oh, sorry, Brad. Do you not like that?
Cutting
Do you
that
not-
one out
do you
too.
not like Yeet?
I don't even know what it means.
Oh, it's
like-
excitement.
it's
It's hard
it's
to
like,
explain.
Yatta!
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yosh.
Yosh.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
that's fine. Okay. All right.
Synonyms.
That
hell
that doesn't
yeah.
help him understand at all.
No. I get it. You won
Give me
me
like
over.
an oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
You won me over.
Yay.
Ninja. Perhaps you've heard of him.
Oh yeah, my job in Final Fantasy 14.
All right. Ninja has jumped ship from Twitch to Microsoft's streaming platform Mixer
Mixer.
exclusively for what sounds like a tremendous amount of money.
Has anyone publicly said how much money?
I saw all
don't
kinds
think
of numbers flying around over the
Yeah.
There are
weekend.
lots of rumors. Yeah.
Who knows what's accurate? Like I saw
I'm not trying to count another man's money.
I saw 50 million, which sounds crazy. Somebody else that I saw was saying it's more like 20.
The craziest thing to
It's
me
a lot. I can
Yeah.
promise you that.
was when it broke, they had a report on his subs, which was at one point 147,000 Twitch subs.
Mm-hmm.
That was like probably like when he played with Drake.
Yeah.
It was down to like 15,000, which
Yeah,
is
that
still a
blew-
crazy number.
I
but
guess that's
like,
a lot, but that blew my fucking mind.
That he had like
to
10x.
be at a tenth of what your peak was. Like that's. Oof.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he did his first stream on Mixer. I think the day after the announcement from
Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza.
There's a lot to unpack there. I don't think we have time for all that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway, sounds like it did very well. It sounds like he hit.
Yeah.
He was in the let's see, like between 60 and 80,000
It
viewers.
was like higher than his average.
Yeah. I guess that's the kind of key.
I'm sure
That makes sense
That's the key
First
comparison.
stream.
for the first stream.
But I don't know.
We'll see
how
in a
many,
couple
I
weeks.
don't know how many Mixer streams y'all have taken a look at over time, but typically in kind of like the 3-digit viewership range from what I've seen.
I'm sure they're like, if you looked at a graph of spikes of people registering a Mixer account, it was just like flat line off the chart.
Big day for Mixer, I think we can say.
Yeah.
With confidence.
For sure.
I'm sure this like seeds Microsoft to do more stuff with Ninja, like when Halo Infinite maybe comes out. It's
and he was a formerly competitive Halo player.
we got some emails asking this
Okay.
week about like totally like there's no way he doesn't do something with
Yeah,
Halo Infinite,
also
right?
I think in his,
being a Halo pro,
his like debut trailer, like I think he had like a trailer for his Mixer announcement debut, and like there was like a Master Chief cosplayer or figure in the background. It's like, maybe go back to Halo whenever that rolls around. So I see Microsoft making moves.
Yeah, definitely a good get for Microsoft.
A good gift for both of them. Like that's guaranteed money for him up front, as opposed to like the month over month.
If his numbers had declined that much, then this is
big day for Lollapalooza, maybe.
Sure.
Probably.
Get a different crowd up in there. But
Mixer's a cool platform. Like their
great.
tech is super solid. Like just the latency and the quality on the streaming.
Yeah, it's
you can do more
Stuff
audience
is-
interaction stuff with the lack of latency.
Yeah, that stuff's cool, but also like that experience is fucking baffling. I don't know how many Mixer streams you guys have spent time on, but like when there are like 1,000 like smiley faces and like stormtroopers thrusting their pelvises at you flying across the chat and you don't know how to turn that stuff off. Like it's just that was during the EA Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
At E3, there were some questionable animated gifs of stormtroopers flying around.
Did not know that's how it worked.
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out how to get rid of that. Like, there's just like shit going everywhere on the Mixer player, like fireworks going off, and like I had no idea how to
just like,
disable any of that stuff. Yeah,
It reminds me of that screenshot from like that congressional hearing or something on Facebook Live. And it's all the angry faces just flooding it.
Or the cat filter on some of those. Yeah.
I mean, if Microsoft should probably hope that Ninja doesn't fall off or do anything bad in the meantime.
No heated gaming moments.
No heated gaming moments, dog. Like, I don't know. It's a risky investment for Microsoft too because of how streamers, like, things can happen with them. They can do something that be like,
well, so like they can, but then they can also violate state law and just pop back in a stream in a week and a half later and just be like, "What's up? I'm back."
I don't know. Microsoft. I feel like Microsoft has a lot more riding on this than Ninja being on Twitch because that's the preferred platform for most people. Like, Microsoft's dollars are in this big time.
Yeah,
so
it was it's like it's not like we've got a bunch of streamers and if one dies, the next one will rise. It's like we've got Ninja. Well, he dies, gets canceled, whatever. They have Ninja.
Yeah. So the stakes are high for Microsoft.
If his numbers were falling off on Twitch that much, do you guys have any idea? Like, are other people filling that void? Like, who are the big names on Twitch now? I mean, obviously,
I don't live in that
Don't
world.
know.
I mean,
Neither do I.
Like nobody name's huge. Shroud.
Like
Shroud.
Shroud. I mean, Shroud seemed like he was bigger than Ninja around the time that Apex came out.
Yeah.
Not FaZe. What's his name? The Fortnite.
Tifu.
Okay.
Don't ask me why I know about.
I guess my point is just that like nobody else seems to have penetrated like the mass consciousness the way that Ninja did.
No, there's not another Ninja yet, but there's still a lot of really popular. Not B tier, other A tier.
I still feel like Ninja's rise to popularity is fairly recent as well. Like that's all fresh in my memory. Like I don't know. I don't feel like it's been that long. Like someone can rise up, I suppose, in the streaming world. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I don't really follow that sort of thing.
I wonder if he's going to do another New Year's stream. Did you guys see that clip of him trying to get the world record of number of people flossing?
Yes,
oh right,
that was
yeah.
And then,
tragic.
like, one guy in the
I was
audience.
gonna say the same thing.
That was rough, man.
That was definitely a low point, probably.
Nobody ever said he's a good hype man. It's just good at Fortnite.
Yeah. Well, not as good as the top players.
Yeah.
In the world. He didn't even qualify for the World Cup.
Right.
Yeah.
What a phony.
Yikes.
Streamers have to be entertaining, right? So I kind of understand why something like that would happen.
It's like whenever really good Dota players stream, they like never talk. They're just like playing the game.
Yeah.
That's their focus, man.
All right, last story of the week is blissfully dull. The
End on a dull note, I guess.
I'll take it at this point. Sure. The PS4 has hit the magic 100 million units sold mark, which is still a pretty big milestone as consoles go. Apparently, it got there faster than the PS2 and the Wii.
Wow, that's impressive. That's wild.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Cool.
That is super impressive.
I guess they got a lot of people to buy another PlayStation 4 with the Lite, or not the Lite, the Pro.
Yeah, I guess that does roll.
Does
probably
that number loops in like all
I would
versions.
assume that rolls both into the same number.
That's a good point.
In which case, like, I've bought 2 of them, so
I bought 2 PS2s.
Maybe that's
PS2
Yeah,
Slim is
I know.
fire.
Oh, God, actually, you're right. I think I
Slim.
went through 4 PS1s and like 3 PS2s. So now that you mention it,
Yeah.
not out of the norm.
Yeah.
Not to mention like how everyone had to buy multiple Xbox 360s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's messed up.
That was smart. That was smart on Microsoft's
Y'all still
part.
got all the, y'all still got those red ringed Xboxes from when y'all was at GameSpot or when you were at GameSpot, Brian?
I'm sorry.
Where'd those go? All the red ring Xbox 360s.
Oh God.
We had a
Still
farm
wrapped in a
of them.
towel somewhere.
I think
Yeah.
I had 3 die, and I think I brought them all in here and
Yeah.
like piled them up in a corner and didn't tell anybody
Little
about
graveyard, yeah.
it. I think there was a stack of
They
like
might
20.
be still in this building.
I
to
think
this
they were
very
literally
day.
there was a stack of like 20 launched 360s in a corner.
Yeah.
At one point, I was just like, I'm gonna put these over here and
Yeah.
walk away.
Between me, my dad, and my brother, I think we had to buy like 3 new ones.
Damn.
I never ringed.
Really?
I had
I did.
the model,
Gross.
the make and model of that were like the deadly ones.
We had at least 2 that red ringed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Some other sales figures came out. The Switch has passed 36 million
Okay.
Shouts out to the
globally,
About to
which,
get another big bump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
according to this analyst report, is basically kind of selling roughly equivalent to the same as the PS4 did.
Okay.
So
Nice.
people like video games. That's my
Huh.
professional analysis.
Damn.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, there you go.
The video games is dope, man.
How's everybody doing on like the break front? You guys want to roll right in emails or take another breather?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm
good.
good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good. you know?
Okay. Sometimes I just make an executive decision and then after the fact I find out somebody was like, I really could have stood to go to the bathroom. All right. Let's read some emails.
Yeah.
Sent to bombcast@giantbomb.com. I can't believe I'm going to read this email.
Oh no.
No, no.
Oh, is it the one you were
Is it
teasing?
about
Greg in
anime?
Massachusetts, no. I could
Okay.
dig that. I could dig
No.
the
no,
poop ton of guac email.
It's fine.
I discarded that one, but I could pull it out of the trash pile if you like. Greg in Massachusetts. In the first episode of One Punch Man, the villain Vaccine Man looks an awful lot like a blue Piccolo,
Sure does.
which made me wonder, is Saitama just Krillin with more training, or is Krillin just Saitama after a tragic nose job where he finds that the source of his power lays in his septum, much like Samson's hair? Either way, I'd like to see a Saitama and Goku at the Olympic Games scenario so we could settle the question of who's
No,
stronger
they
once
can
and for
never-
all.
They can't.
Greg
I
from
don't wanna see
Massachusetts, you're a genius.
Any thoughts?
I mean,
That's
I feel like
what's
it was very intentional to have a Toriyama-looking dude be the first dude that Saitama blows up because it's
Oh
like,
yeah, that was like the point of the satire, right?
Yeah.
Of One Punch Man. I mean, One Punch Man, for those who don't know, started out as a webcomic, and was just like goofs on
yeah,
shonen
by somebody who couldn't draw.
by someone who could not draw shonen anime stuff. So it with Dragon Ball being like the quintessential shonen series, that just makes a lot of sense. However, I would totally play a Goku and Saitama at the Olympic Games, Tokyo
They have
2020.
to be friends. They can never fight. That's my one stipulation. I never
Oh,
want to see
no.
them fight.
Well, yeah, Goku would be way too into it, and Saitama would be way too not into it. And Goku would just be disappointed,
Yeah.
and yeah, it would be a whole. What I don't even want to think about what would happen.
I know. It's like it's
The world would probably blow
It's
up.
what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, as the Joker once said.
That is very good. That's a good point.
Brad, did you understand any of that email before you
No.
heard this?
Wow,
No, and
you picked a great email.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
didn't-
great one to start on.
I didn't know that our guests would be such anime experts either. I figured that would fall on Jan's shoulders, but
you said the most prolific shonen anime was Dragon Ball. I mean, it's just-
It is. I mean, it is. Like, Naruto might be better overall, I think. I'm
Ben,
willing
do
to say
not
that.
slander Naruto when you are a member of the Naruto Slack channel, okay?
that I wasn't invited in.
Yeah,
so
no.
Fuck y'all.
It's just me, Jan, and Tam.
Oh, cute.
Shit, man. I
Believe
don't
it.
Believe it, I guess. At the end of the
Dátemelo.
day. Oh, no, what I wanted to say is One Punch Man is just like an incredible piece of fictional TV that everyone should watch, even if you don't like anime. I think you
Oh,
can
yeah.
totally.
It's on Netflix, right?
It has some
Yeah, I think so.
issues, but
Puri 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 zara.
yeah. But it's still just such a good television show. It's like really emotional, and it almost made me cry.
And I always have to do this. If you haven't read or watched the original Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, Kid Goku,
So
that shit is so,
It's so
good.
funny.
Very good comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Isn't the original Dragon Ball like low key problematic too?
Don't even start with me.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z is problematic. Have
Goku
you seen Mr.
doesn't
Bobo?
understand genitalia. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Just asking the questions.
Maybe in episode 4, there's somebody flashes someone out. We don't have to go into it.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure the first place I saw boobs was in a Dragon Ball manga.
Hey.
Oh yeah, there are quite. Yeah, there's.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Hentai.
Ranma 1/2, also great anime.
yeah.
Also some
right,
boobs.
Also some boobs in that
Also
one
some
too.
boobs.
Like
Yeah.
we're very cognizant of the flaws in our faves around here. So
Oh yeah.
We were just talking about Castlevania 64.
Hey, that game's low key fire, but
Yeah.
it's neither here
It's
nor
a
there.
problematic fate for sure.
Yep.
email from James. I have some important information as a follow-up to your discussion on rom-coms last week on the podcast.
Oh no.
There is a trend every 10 years that an incredibly significant rom-com is released, often something that changes and redefines the genre for the years to come, and some would even say shapes the idea of romance for an entire generation of people.
Like shonen
Damn.
anime.
The pattern here is that this film is always released in a year ending in 9, so at some point this year, an equally important rom-com is expected.
Always Be My Maybe.
Yeah, it came out this year.
Did that come out this year?
That
Okay.
movie is so good.
It's tight. It's tiny.
Yeah.
So far, this list is 1979, Manhattan. 1989, When Harry Met Sally, arguably the creator of the genre as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
1999, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay, all right.
2009, 500 Days of Summer.
Fuck that movie.
He's right though.
Fuck-
Like,
okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
fuck
Alright.
that movie.
Well, I,
Whoa.
Fuck
okay.
that movie, but that's a good.
It
That
definitely-
did the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
At that, I took my girlfriend at that time to that movie because we thought it'd be a sweet movie because we like both of those people, and then we thought like, oh, what if she just dies at the end? And then it wound up being a movie about like people just not working out, and then at the end of that movie, we're just awkwardly looking at each other like,
This shit ain't gonna work out.
yeah,
Shit's too real, man.
yeah.
No,
I
that
hate
can
that
happen.
movie.
Like Mayor and I started watching Love on Netflix. It's a show about like two highly dysfunctional people who should not have a relationship with each other, but that's not immediately apparent. But we got like 6 episodes in, and we're just like, let's just like watch this on our own, maybe, and just, like
Yeah.
Wow.
just creates a weird mood. Movies can like definitely create a weird mood.
Yeah. And you come out of one of those movies and you're like, so like you still want to be together, right?
What, was Crazy Rich Asians this year?
Yeah, so James
Last year.
James says, unfortunately, it looks like this pattern may be broken as Crazy Rich Asians was a year early,
Wow.
and there aren't many major rom-coms on the docket for release this year. Certainly not ones that look to have the significance of something like When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, definitely.
Perhaps it's Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that.
So I would never say Always Be My Maybe is near the level of When Harry Met Sally, but I really did like that movie.
Yeah,
Asian
I could see it
pride.
be pretty influential too. Like,
Well, I mean, it's like an all Asian love
Gang.
polygon.
Yeah, I would say like both of those movies like
Yeah.
are a case for the bankability of like non-white stars, which seems to be all that
Yeah.
Hollywood
Yeah.
cares
yeah,
about.
and,
So
Yeah.
Keanu was so good.
Thank
in
you
that.
for last year.
What?
What was it called? Thank you. Oh,
It's all the
boy.
boys I loved before.
Yeah, that was
Shouts out to
yeah.
Lana Condor.
Oh.
Yeah. Shouts out to Lana Condor.
Yeah, that one. People still talk about that movie.
Dude, I watched that with my girlfriend, and the end of that is so goddamn corny. Holy shit! I forgot his name in the movie or whatever, but the way he said, "Oh fuck," I forgot the line. Never mind. At the end of that movie, it just got me rolling. I was dying laughing because of how corny that shit was. But then I think about it, I'm like, it's like at that age, you say some pretty dumb shit. So that's what's up.
Well, Love Island is coming to America.
Yeah. It's gonna be worse than the
It's
other
definitely
ones,
for sure.
which is true of
But
any
maybe
American
that's-
reality show.
That's the rom-com is the
Brad, you look curious about Love Island.
go on.
Is there love
Take
on
it
the
away.
island?
no, you should.
It's Love Island is the one that there's one single person, right? And
I think so.
It's a bunch of pairs. So it's like 10 couples and one single person. And the goal of the single person is to break up all of the relationships over the course of the show.
Okay, that's devious.
I watched some highlight. I watched like a highlight reel of it. I haven't watched any full episodes.
Where's it from?
God damn.
UK.
The UK.
Okay.
Damn, that's,
So we're getting
that's
that.
raw.
I also want to take this opportunity to discuss Real Love, the Japanese dating show that is on Netflix, only one season. It is a show. It's so problematic, but it's so good. It's a Japanese reality show where everyone, it's like the goal is to like couple up, but everyone has a dark secret that may be revealed at any time. And so some of them are really innocent, like I have. And it's like the equivalent of $10,000 in debt. And I was watching this with friends. And we were like, "That's a joke."
You went to college?
Yeah. Wow, you didn't go to college. So it's like I have $10,000 in debt, but some of them are like,
That's not a lot.
I've slept with 300 people, and
I
like
killed a man.
like some of them,
Waiting for a murderer to pop up
yeah,
in
some
here.
of them are like pretty a lot, and like there's like hidden porn stars and stuff like that. So that
respect it.
show, the hosts are two. One's a comedian who's like this former. They call him a reformed playboy, and the female host is a former idol who fell into scandal when she cheated on her husband and hid her boyfriend in the closet. So sometimes they call her Closet Girl. And like the hosts are so mean. It's like they're so ruthless about the contestants. It's really a lot. I watched it in a day. And I learned the Japanese word. There's gendered words for slut. So there's like a female one and a male one. They're so vulgar. Like it's really like it's like the like literal translation is like, whoa, that's your word for slut. So
Something more wholesome. Terrence House. What the
Terrence
fuck?
House.
Terrence House word. Terrence House. There's a new season out there. Don't ask me how I'm watching it because you know what I'm saying. It's not exactly on Netflix yet, but yeah, Terrace House is good. The new season is popping though. There's a girl with short hair. There's a parkour girl. There's a race car driver girl who's I think she's also an idol. There's a musician dude.
They got all the character classes.
Yeah, dude, hey, shouts out to Terrace House.
While we're recommending Japanese reality shows, check out Documental.
I heard, have you watched season 3?
Yes, I have.
Oh my god.
Documental is maybe the hardest I've laughed in the last 3 years. It is a reality show where 10 comedians to enter have to put up 1 million yen, and they try and make each other laugh. And if you laugh, you get eliminated, and the last man standing gets all the money. And
1 million yen is
$10,000.
I'm so bad at the yen math.
Wait,
so it's like-
10,000? Yeah,
it's
It's like
move
100
over to-
grand,
yeah.
grand prize, and then eventually they start putting like another 100 on top, or another 100,000, or they put the entry, they cover the entry fee basically, like so you're actually winning 100 grand profit. And it's great because it's comedians trying to make each other laugh, and so they're not doing their bits because they're like, they know like if I just do my stand-up act, nobody's gonna laugh because comedians are like be able to pick it apart. So it just resorts to like violence and nudity, and
a lot of
anything
nudity.
can go.
A lot of buttholes.
A lot of buttholes, a lot of dicks, there's a dick prison at one point. That's quite entertaining. The Anal Olympics. Check out Panty the Stream. Dan and his wife watch and talk about it, and it's a good summary there.
Sick.
The thing you need to know though is like, because it's Japanese, like all of this is blurred. Because even Japanese porn, the genitals are blurred. So it's just
But
like
there's some incredible.
it's like a blurred dick and then like something.
Yeah, they're
sound
so
you
good
just
at
made.
unselectively blurring segments of like what you're supposed, or like there's like a dick print, like an autograph with a dick at one point, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Oh, like putting ink on and then using it as a stamp. Yeah. So
Pen-
I
Pen
want
15.
I want you to know I haven't even watched this show. I sat in a meeting room with Peter Brown, and Peter gave
outing
me
Peter.
Peter gave me the Cliff's Notes, including the most extreme thing he saw on the show, which I think you know what I'm talking about.
You'll have to talk after.
Yeah, and I was
Rom-coms are
like,
changing, man.
I kind of like that I have to generate an idea of what the show is instead of watching it. He also told me about a Japanese game show called Ass Game, where
Yeah, I'm sold.
Now you're just making this up.
where
What's it on? I'm watching it right now.
where two people are sitting on one side of a room, and on the other side is a platform with someone on all fours with their ass facing the person. And they answer rapid fire questions. And when you get an answer wrong or when you like fail to answer, the person gets like the platform slides a little bit closer to you. And the thing you don't want to happen is for their butt to be like right up in your face. And apparently it's called Ass Game.
Oh.
When I was a camp counselor, we used to play a game
my
with
God.
other camp counselors called Crackball. And Crackball was a very simple game. We only played with other counselors, never with kids. Like this was always after hours, whatever. Just want to make that clear.
Thank you.
Crackball was a game where you would stand about 15 feet away from another person, and you would take like a lacrosse ball, and you would take turns. And if you were the thrower, the other person would bend over, and your goal was to hit him in the crack. And if you did, you were supposed to slide your pants down a little bit. And then you would just take turns, and eventually your whole damn ass was out there. And they're just throwing this ball, just trying to... We were 17, it was just like, we'd spend all day around these kids. It was like, well, we could either like go drink by the pond or throw lacrosse balls at each other's butt cracks. And rationality won on that day.
Sounds like the Midwest.
No, it was
Yeah,
NorCal.
sounds like it. But
Yeah, I mean,
Does sound like a very Midwestern activity.
oh boy,
what were we talking about?
rom-coms.
Rom-coms.
Holy shit.
Emails, I guess?
They're
Midsummer.
different. Wow, dude.
Woof.
Wow.
I lost the email that I was about to read.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Do you have any fun games I can play with my friend?
Here it is. Frederick from Germany.
What's up, Fred?
My friend recently fried his Japanese Sega Saturn on stream because he forgot to connect it to a voltage converter first.
Oh, that's what you mean by fry.
Yep. Our heads are somewhere else.
He includes a clip to the stream in question. For those unfamiliar, Japanese outlets have the same power output as the US, while European ones have a much higher output. What random or even beloved piece of tech have you destroyed by not paying attention or through sheer stupidity?
Oh boy.
Ooh.
I got my Tamagotchi taken away from me because I kept dropping it, and the sound of it hitting the hardwood floor made my parents mad. And it died because they took it away and hid it, and I couldn't feed him anymore.
It's a tragic story.
When I was 14, I think I was very young, and I grew up with not a lot of money, so having a PC was a very expensive ordeal. And I flipped signs for Little Caesars to upgrade my video card, and I got enough money. I bought was it a GeForce 6800 GT, I think it was, or yeah, some shit like that. Maybe it was like 2015. I can't remember. I'm getting old. But I did it myself, and I put the slot into I put the video card into the VGA slot, but I didn't realize you had to put like a power pin
ATX,
into it. Yeah, into it also. So I was like, dog, I'm ready to go. And then I booted up Half-Life 2, and it's like, why is my screen all like half bright green and there's like mad artifacting? And then it shut down. I'm looking at it, I'm like smelling like some shit from it. I'm like, oh, I think I fucked it up. And then I was like,
Really? Huh.
I put in like an old ass video card. I was like, hey, some shit happened to my video card. What's up with it? And it's like, did you connect the power pin? I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was like, luckily, I don't know how, but I asked my stepdad, I was like, hey, I need a refund on this. Find a way to make it happen, because dog, I'm not flipping signs for another next summer, because I ain't play video games now. I was able to, get a replacement and not do that again. But like, dog, that moment, I was like, when I realized what I had
It's
done,
like your life is over.
yeah, I was like, shit, man.
Think of how different your life would have been.
Right? Yeah. Shit.
I was always really careful with my electronics.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't have-
They're expensive.
I
don't-
ruin my $600 things.
We're basically beautiful and perfect. I think
Yeah,
nobody's ever broken anything.
Yeah, I've broken plenty of bones, like my own bones, but not any electronics. But
Those could be fixed.
yeah, one time my brother played Halo competitively for a little while, and he was like training. I think he was playing Halo. I forget what he was playing, but he got so mad he threw his controller and lodged it into the screen of the TV
Oh.
Sick.
Holy man.
and broke
That's impressive.
broke the TV. And my parents were like, "What the fuck?" But both my parents play games, so like my dad's like, Just don't do that again.
Wait,
Oh my
wait,
god.
did it do it like out of impulse, just like fucking?
He was
threw that
so
shit?
mad. He must have been like 13.
Oh, okay.
So mad he threw a controller and lodged it into the TV.
Wow.
And this is like an LCD screen. It's not like CRT because then motherfuckers.
Oh
can
yeah,
take
like
a
this was like 2009
months ago.
Oh, okay,
or
so
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Damn.
that was like, and like I'm upstairs like playing like my DS or something, like really quietly, like
That reminds me of Dan Reichert's story about how he would super soak his TV when he got like mad of watching a game show. I thought it was like the funniest fucking story like he's told.
I definitely had sent home with like a box of magnets when I was in like second grade.
Oh, I've
And
done
I
the
love-
same thing.
I loved magnets. Magnets were the coolest. I would like just be like, oh, that's metal. I didn't know. Oh, the magnets stick to that. And I plopped one on the TV.
magnets playing
And
with
I'm like,
magnets.
Whoa.
I'm like, oh, this is cool. You can plop them on the
Yeah.
TV. They stick
Yeah,
on the
put
TV.
mad
I put like
magnets on there,
6
huh?
magnets on the TV, and I would walk home after school. My parents didn't get off work till like 6 or 7 most nights, and so they were on there for a while. And they walked in and they like put them off, and they just had permanent like. Not where the magnet was, but around it, like a border, just these kind of ovals all over the TV that faded a little bit, but not entirely. And
Oh my
for like, we had that TV for like another 2 years.
That's what's
man.
up, man.
Wow. All right.
You break anything, Brad?
No.
Oh.
Never broken Brad.
Jason?
I've broken a PS2 before when I was modding it to play imports. Just imports.
God, you tried to mod a PS. Yes,
I totally did. And I was halfway through, like, because you were going directly under the chip, like these very, very tiny solder points. And I was not that experienced, I guess, but I messed up that board real bad.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I modded several PS1s.
There was
just
a big
fine, but
there was a big gloop of solder that got like stuck in there. And
Oh,
when I took one look at
Done.
what the PS2 mod was going to require,
Yeah.
I was like, nope, not even trying.
Oh, I also broke a ribbon cable on there too. Like made the controller ports useless, which sucked. But I've also broken a TV. A very similar situation with a controller being thrown. This was to my defense. It wasn't thrown at the TV. It was kind of tossed at the coffee table and it bounced.
Do you remember what you were playing?
Street Fighter V.
Oh,
Oh. All right.
reason.
And hit my
Okay.
hit my TV
All right.
and it broke it.
Understandable.
But I got a bigger TV.
Yeah. And a bigger table, less bouncy.
No, we took away the table. Actually, we didn't need it anymore. It's
Damn.
too dangerous.
All right. Next email, Josh from Colorado. Does Jan have any packs of Pokemon cards on him right now?
Actually,
Could he open one?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Did not
This
expect.
was not
Wait,
planned.
did you get the new set?
I did
No,
not.
not yet.
I did,
I
wow.
have 10 packs.
Like a stack.
Take one, pass it down.
That is a.
What?
Live card openings right now.
But you did it. This isn't the new set.
No.
Oh.
These are dollar packs. I bought 80 of these, so you know you can do the math.
Sun and Moon,
Hold on.
Unbroken Bonds.
I
Carry
genuinely did not expect this
Unbroken.
email to bear fruit, but here we are.
Okay, are we doing
Oh, this
it?
one has
Yeah,
more
yeah.
champ
I guess
on
we're
it.
doing this.
All right.
Oh, there's only one?
There's
per?
3 cards.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Pokemon card opening ASMR.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna lift it up.
Ooh, this is fun.
If you get anything shiny, it's still mine.
Yeah.
I did.
Fair.
Yo,
I got,
what
I
the-
got a. Is this shiny? That looks shiny.
Oh shit! He got Celesteela.
I got a shiny
fucking
Celesteela.
Woo, full art.
Is that a
Oh
big
my
deal?
That's
God,
a big deal.
that's a
okay.
big deal.
All right, Brad.
Damn.
Brad, don't touch that
Sorry,
anymore.
Brad.
That's
I
cool.
just
You can
took
pass
it
it down.
out of
I'm
your
just,
hand.
I'm just gonna chill with my stealthy hood here
Give it to Jan.
and my grubbin.
I don't even want to finish opening my pack.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I just got Spritzy and Doduo.
I got a Froakie.
Oh,
I
Froakie's
got,
tight. Look,
I got some doodle cards.
man, Brad pulled this on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you like find the value of that card real
Iran.
quick?
Is that a big deal?
Well, Celesteela, not necessarily, but the rainbow rare.
Is that
yes.
not just a regular shiny? Is
Oh,
that like
no,
a,
look at that. He's my favorite. I love him.
It's so pure.
All my shit says basic. That says a lot about me. I'm basic.
that card is worth between $6 and $10.
Crabby
Hey,
tan.
it's
tan-
More than I
about-
paid for this pack.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
It's
I'll
about
trade you Litton for Krabby.
pretty.
Yeah.
I already passed my cards down.
It's Litten.
I got to ride on Aaron and the Froakie.
I
Lynn's cute. Catterday is one of Litten's moves. Yeah, thank you for this. Tangela.
right.
Tangela.
I just, you know what? I just want to say that I have never seen Jan not be prepared for any situation. So I really should have known when I pulled
almost
this email
thought you-
out.
you-
Oh, do I have
cards, too.
1 pack of Pokemon cards? I have 10 packs of Pokemon cards, Brad.
I'm not surprised that this worked out.
Now we play.
I'll respect it.
We play with what we got.
Yeah.
Do you have a
God.
Lickitung?
Go.
Does it
Go.
work like that?
Go Pokemon.
All right.
Thanks.
Go Magikarp.
Yeah, thank you.
Probably time to start with the food emails.
Oh yeah, I'm hungry.
Those have been coming in
How's
fast and
lunchtime?
furious. Question from Blair. What about corn dogs, but it's a cob of corn instead of a wiener?
Wait, so
That'd be-
the corn on the cob is
Basically just
has
deep
breading around
breaded,
it?
deep fried
Yeah.
corn cob.
Dude, that sounds great.
Ear of
Don't-
corn?
It might be a little hard to eat though, because
It'd be hard to eat, but
the
you know
depth
how we go.
perception.
You know how we go to that beer garden to get the cheese corn fritters, the fried
Yeah.
cheese corn
Oh,
things.
sure.
That's the business. That's what I want.
Y'all
Yeah.
ever get the little like skewers you stick in the ends of the corn?
Oh yeah.
To eat it. Like,
Is there
stick
any
something
other
like
way?
that in there and then fry
Yeah.
it, and then you got a handle.
We had ones that were corns.
Yeah, I have one that's
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
do that.
Good.
I think this is doable.
Yeah, you could have the skewer like go on both ends and
Dude,
with the corn
Yeah.
dog, so it's like a double
Okay.
corn dog.
All right.
and it's like
cornbread
fucking-
is so good.
Dude, don't talk to me about. Oh, cornbread is so good.
I know,
Corn
I'm
dogs are
so
good.
ready for lunch.
Yeah, even like powdered cornbread. Like 10th grade, my mom always used to make cornbread, and I would always drink Full Throttle energy drinks after school. I was in ROTC, and they like just grind you to the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like this gruesome training program and all that shit. Get home at like 4:30 in the afternoon. It's like, ooh, but I got some cornbread. I got a Full Throttle energy drink, and I'm playing Maple Story all night. I'm not doing homework, dog.
Living.
Man, I got good memories with cornbread. I had a jalapeno cornbread at in Vegas.
That sounds
Man,
great.
was
Yeah.
fire.
Oh, yeah.
Ed from the UK, now in Taiwan, writes in about the Daily City combo.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Oh, the
Oh, the triangle, the death
Yeah.
triangle.
A few years ago, I was visiting for GDC and super wanted to try In-N-Out, so my friends took me on the way to dropping me at the airport for my trip back home. I was very excited to see there was also a Krispy Kreme. They weren't really a thing in the UK at the time, so I also grabbed some for the road/sky. Getting home after a 16-hour flight and being able to eat a dozen donuts is pretty good, even if they were a bit squashed.
That's a power move.
I had to pull this email just because he apparently ate all dozen fucking donuts. Wow.
Dude.
I mean, to be fair,
Like, holy shit.
Krispy Kremes are a little bit.
they're like
Smaller?
airier.
They're not huge, I
Yeah.
guess, but
Yeah.
holy
That's
fuck,
a lot
man,
of
whole,
sugar,
a whole
bro.
dozen
I could do it.
on a flight.
Hey,
I could, but
definitely could do
donuts. One donut, or one bagel has the
Okay,
carbs.
yeah.
Has the carbs of 2 donuts. So if you have one donut, you're better on the carbs front. That's just.
I'm fucking up 2 donuts then, dude. Like,
As somebody who's completed the Bob's Big Donut Challenge and won a free shirt from it, I think I could do the dozen.
wait, so the Daily City, what was it called?
Combo. But
Combo. So-
I call it the death triangle because
Where's the
What's
third?
the
What's the
third?
third corner?
up the hill is a hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he didn't combine them. The true
Oh,
combo
yeah.
is you eat an In-N-Out with donut buns.
That's actually pretty. I think that would be pretty good because at the county fair I've had a donut burger. I'm
Yeah.
like, this slaps.
yeah, it's pretty good. Turns out combining a donut and a hamburger.
Sweet meat.
All right,
sweet meat.
if we're talking about alternative buns, I have to read this email next.
Sign
Dexter,
up to my premium Snapchat.
Dexter from Detroit. I've been meaning to write in for a while about this small place in Dearborn, Michigan, right outside Detroit. It's called Tasty's Burgers. While the food is outrageous, nearly all of these burgers are shockingly good. Their menu includes the pizza burger, basil pizza sauce, mozzarella sticks, cheese, and ranch on a pretzel bun.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
The nacho burger, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, jalapeno, American Swiss, pepper jack, nacho cheese, beef bacon,
I'm so hungry.
nacho cheese, Doritos, mayo, hot sauce on an onion bun.
Whoa.
But this is the one that really blew my mind. The breakfast burger, fried egg, beef bacon, Swiss cheese, onions, peppers, tomato, tasty sauce, with 2 grilled cheese sandwiches as the bun.
Holy
yeah.
Classic breakfast meal.
Grilled cheese sandwiches as buns.
That's
That's-
you go to Jack in the Box and get a munchie meal, and they got you.
That's human ingenuity right
That
there.
is.
That's
I
really-
hadn't even thought of that. That's wild.
It's like 3 sandwiches in one.
It's like a quesarito.
Damn, son. Yeah, that's what's up.
So we're going to Michigan.
Yeah, field trip.
Just for lunch.
It's like a hole in wall place. They said. Like,
We're gonna bring a dozen burgers back and eat them on the flight.
hey, hole in the wall places is where it's at if you want to get some real nasty but good food. So,
Yep.
Question from Paul.
what's up, Paul?
Subject line, Brad, this is a very serious question about frozen pizza preparation.
Ooh.
When you cook a frozen pizza, do you put it right on the oven rack or do you put it on a tray? How about everyone else? Why did you single me out?
Yeah, Brad.
Okay, Brad, answer.
Why did... Yeah, of course. That's what you do.
What?
Of course you put it... Oh, I'm sorry. You put it right on the rack.
Okay, yeah.
I put it on a
It's
pizza.
frozen.
Pizza
Growing-
pan.
growing
Yes.
I put
They
it on
say,
the pan.
Yeah.
right there on the box, put it right on the rack.
I put tin foil on the pan as well.
I'm not
Yeah.
risking
wow.
a cheese.
That famous picture.
Yes, I'm not risking because
Yeah.
I would fuck that up.
Yeah.
I am so bad at cooking. I would end up with
I definitely put in
a pool of cheese in my oven.
I've definitely put in a frozen pizza still on the cardboard.
What the fuck? And in the oven?
I don't know
Oh, yeah.
how you. Okay.
Cause like it was like small, it wasn't bigger. It was like just like right there with it.
Sure.
It was really
Oh.
frozen, so it was
Oh,
still
with-
kind of
Oh,
stuck to
so
there.
was it an accident?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh, this cardboard is like protective.
It'll seal
Or
the flavor in.
sleeve.
Crisping sleeves.
Hey, shouts out to crisping sleeves. You know, growing up, I ate mad Totino's 99-cent pizzas
Oh,
from
yeah.
fucking food for less.
Oh,
Shouts out
yeah.
to Food for Less. Y'all kept me fed. We ain't got no money, but hey, Totino's they slap. But what I used to do is my brother did this and just put foil over the oven rack and put it on there.
Yeah.
And it's a pain in the ass because you have to scoop it afterward. Like cheese is stuck to the damn tin foil. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Also, you waste the tin foil. But I always thought that's how you had to do it. So when I discovered that you're supposed to put them on the rack directly,
Right.
it's a game changer because it's also more crispy. I do like a soggy pizza, but
Ugh.
crispy pizza is
It depends
better.
on the pizza.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm a recent convert of the pan fry reheat.
Yeah,
It's
there we go.
so good.
I did
It's-
that out of necessity.
You get the crispy bottom, you get the melted cheese. It's
Yeah.
just like top to bottom.
Yeah.
Way better than a microwave or anything else in
Yeah.
oven.
There's
Yeah.
a Little Caesars by my apartment in Berkeley.
I almost went
And
there.
ooh man, I fuck up some Little Caesars every now and then. And we don't have a microwave though. But you know, I'm not gonna eat the whole damn pizza in one sitting. So I put it in the fridge and all. But like, how am I gonna heat this up? I'm not gonna put it back in the oven. Like Little Caesars pizza doesn't really deserve that much.
Right.
But so I put it in a pan. I was like, how is this gonna work out? It's just like I thought it was just me being like a dumbass. But I was like, oh shit! Like it's faster, it's crispier, and damn, all right, it's revitalizing Little Caesars pizza because once those things go cold, it's over. It's over.
I have very fond memories of like high school clubs selling slices of Little Caesars pizza for $1 and just being like, even for $1, I'm disappointed on this slice of pizza. But
They're
I eat
cheesy
it.
bread though.
Oh yeah.
Their
very
pan,
good.
their
Right,
pan
yeah.
pizza is also like
Yeah.
pretty.
Their
Alright.
ranch is also good too. Like they sell ranch cups. I think they're kind of juicy. They're like 60 cents per ranch cup. I'm like, yeah, I'll pay it because it's real.
The curry pizza place by my place does jalapeno ranch cups for 25 cents.
Ooh, I'm stock up on those then. You know? All right,
Good shit.
So yeah, Jack in the Box and Little Caesars have really good ranch.
Yeah, Jack in the Box ranch.
Hey, shouts out.
Guys ever take a Totino's party pizza, microwave it,
Oh no.
get it all soggy and stuff, but then you roll it up
Oh.
like a burrito,
Mhm.
and then you put it in like an oven toaster, crisp it up.
Huh.
Oh my
It's like
god.
a pizza burrito.
I think that's like one too many steps for a Totino's pizza. But
Sometimes I don't crisp it. I just like eat it soggy.
oh, after you microwave it,
Sure,
I respect it.
absolutely.
Why not?
A little homemade calzone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Scott from Tampa. With all the talk of incorporating Mountain Dew into food on the podcast lately, I'm surprised no one knew that it's basically just based on orange juice flavoring.
Mhm.
Thus, you can pretty much use it wherever you use orange or citrus flavoring, and it will taste appropriate and or delicious.
Or you can add your own citrus flavoring if you're so bold.
You know what?
More on that coming soon.
You know, Jen, I don't know if you brought this up last week, but there's a Filipino dish that uses Sprite.
Yeah, totally. Hundreds.
Sprite marinade. It's one of the ingredients, but there's like marinated beef, like Filipino style marinated beef. Put Sprite in that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll-
The thing,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
the thing, y'all doing a monster in the.
That's under embargo.
Scott, yeah, so Scott also says, also, I highly recommend using the throwback version that uses actual sugar instead of corn syrup for cooking, and as a reduction, results improve greatly. Huh, you don't say.
Okay, original sugar. But what about the health conscious people out there who might want a sugar-free option? How would we cover them?
Can't help you there.
This hasn't really been a health conscious conversation.
Yeah.
This will all make more sense on Friday.
Such bad eating habits recently, man. Fuck. Especially when I went to Evo, dog.
Oh,
Got off the plane.
You had an
I
Evo
ordered-
dog?
I wonder what that would look
so
like.
good.
Ah, dude.
Did you go to any nice Vegas like Gordon Ramsay's place or
Fuck no.
I always try and go to I'll do one kind of nice place. Like Gordon Ramsay's burger place. It's not as expensive as you would think, but
I ate Wendy's when I
Yeah.
got off the plane, and then I had convenience store food.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a real Michael move.
yeah,
for sure.
Dude, I got the lowest standards when it comes to food.
That dude does
Maybe-
not go to lunch with us. We're always like, Michael, you want to go to lunch? He's like, nah, I'm going to go to McDonald's on Market. The McDonald's on Market
the worst
is
McDonald's.
the worst
We
McDonald's in the
chronicled
world.
the worst McDonald's in America on
Yeah.
this podcast.
I used to do before when I had even less money. I used to go to Lee's after 3:00. Because at first they would do half off of your tray.
Yep.
There'd be barely anything there, so I'm make do with whatever they have, and it's usually the nasty shit.
which for Lee's.
yeah,
You're straining,
Rob
straining the
Handler-
sauce to try to get whatever's left in the
Yeah.
bottom.
yeah,
Rob Handler has gotten sick from Lee's multiple times.
yeah.
I probably have two.
Yeah, I probably have two, but I don't give a shit. But and then they converted to they have $2 boxes of they make the tray themselves, so
Yeah.
it's hit or miss. But it's all hit for me because I got low standards again. I don't know, their dumplings are a little sus, but I was like, for $2, I'm gonna risk it.
Their bacon's good.
I watched
yeah.
I watched a gentleman of I don't know. He was a dirty gentleman. He was
I think we know what you're talking about.
yeah.
We know him.
No.
Oh.
No, he just walked in and he put his hand in the rotisserie chicken
Excuse you.
and started shoveling it into a garbage bag for
Yeah,
him to eat.
I've heard this. I've heard of this man.
Yes, he's a dirty man.
I've heard of a dirty man going in and putting his hands on all the things under the sneeze guard and then leaving.
Oh, yikes.
That's
I
gross.
think I'm gonna go somewhere else for lunch today.
Yeah.
Hey, want to go leave? Dude, they have they have some good shit. They have a sweet pork that's almost like tocino. So it hits.
Yeah, it depends if someone's touched it or not.
Right.
All right, this last email is very appropriate then.
Oh no.
Oh,
From Stu.
good.
Ooh, stew. I could eat some stew.
If you could know what food you've eaten that had been tampered with or otherwise tainted, would you choose to find out?
No.
If you do choose to find out what was done, you get to do the same to the perpetrator's next meal without risk of repercussions.
Well, I was on board even before the vengeance arc
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot.
to find out.
because I'll be able to know I'm not gonna go back there.
Oh, okay. That's
You know?
just
Would you like to know what people have done to your food throughout your life?
Fuck no.
Absolutely not.
No.
I used to work at a KFC Taco Bell. No.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
damn, you
Dude,
did.
ignorance is
'Cause you already know.
bliss.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Now I don't want to ask.
even once you learn, it's not gonna change anything.
Yeah. Now I'm just
Well, no,
thinking
it would
about
give
that
me a
instance.
panic attack. See, I don't need that. I don't need food anxiety on top of my regular anxiety. I don't need that.
The secret is to always be anxious.
I mean, I am,
Yeah.
but I don't need more of it. I started reading about the McDonald's ice cream machine.
Oh no.
No, don't
That-
do this
That
to
probably
me.
never gets cleaned.
It does not get
I'm
cleaned.
sure.
I read a bunch of McDonald's former McDonald's employees being like, "That shit's nasty."
I guess it's
Also, I started asking for no ice in my drinks from every fast food place.
yes.
Definitely do that. The ice is
wow.
the number one dirtiest place in a fast food
Yep.
restaurant.
they
Yeah.
use the lowest of the low water to
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you don't
don't-
clean it ever.
Don't ask for ice. There's a reason the McDonald's ice cream machine is always broken.
It's better off that way, right?
Dude, it sounds so gross. I was like, I can't believe I've eaten
man.
McFlurries.
Dude, I last time when I got those fish fillets, someone in front of me ordered a McFlurry, and I saw them making. I was like, "Ooh, maybe I should get a McFlurry, dude."
I had the
haven't
streamed
had one in a
waffle
while.
McFlurry when it was a thing.
Ooh.
How's it?
Oh, it was great.
Man,
Lovely, tasty.
I'm gonna get a McFlurry. You want to go down to McDonald's
Dude,
after this?
I did have McDonald's when I was in Japan because I was kind of like,
Oh, that's different.
I wonder what it tastes exactly the same.
Oh,
It's like
Yeah.
a 1-to-1. They really tried their best.
they really. Hey, yeah.
I've never had a fillet of fish meat. Now you got me curious.
Yeah.
Dude.
Really? Wow. Okay. It's
Just don't eat it on a BART train like Michael
Yeah,
did.
yeah. What an asshole. Filet fish is popping during Lent too. Like they have it's like $2.50 per, and it's like, hey, shit, let's go. Oh, I think it's fillet Fridays, but just stock up on it. Okay. I wish there was a.
Oh, I don't want it. Stacking up on fast food reminds me of my old landlord who would every week on Monday go to Burger King, buy 40 whatever the name of the Junior Whopper. It was just cheese, patty, bacon, ketchup. That was all that was on him, and then freeze them and just microwave them 3 at a time for every meal over the course of the week. Literally all he ate.
I respect it.
That's how you get scurvy.
Just pour a little lime sauce
Ketchup
on
has
it.
tomatoes. You're good.
It's true. There's vitamin C in tomatoes.
Oh boy. Hey, but I heard there was a Jollibee's down on there used to be a Jollibee's down by
Oh yeah, where that Oasis is.
yeah, and they
Took it away from our people.
Hey, a super duper moved in on New Montgomery though.
Hey.
Super duper overrated.
I want my chicken
It's
joy.
definitely overrated and it's super greasy, but like it's really close to us.
Yeah.
Y'all never had fast food palabok. That shit hit, dude.
Fiesta
Right
noodles is what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I feel bad about getting the hollow hollow out of Jollibee now because they
Why?
probably don't clean it either.
Yeah. My grandma's house is a little
Never
messy,
eat out
so-
again.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, anyways, everyone
only
ready
choice.
for?
Yeah, I'm still hungry.
I'm super hungry. Yeah.
All right, last email, which means maybe we won't have read an email about video games this entire segment.
Wow.
Wonderful.
From John. You're walking out of the grocery store late one night when a wizard approaches with a simple offer. He can cast a spell on you, which will make it so you never have to eat or drink again. Your body will completely sustain itself on its own. Everything will be as normal. You just don't need food or drink. The catch is that you can't ever eat or drink again. You can't taste any food, but you can smell. And anything you try to eat or drink just flies right back out.
Oh, like exits you immediately. That's a problem. Oh, fuck.
Even though this is a parking lot wizard, you've done this kind of thing before, and you know he's legit. He just likes doing magic and wants to help. So would you do it? For me, it's an easy yes because of how much time and money I have to spend every day just keeping my physical husk alive. But I imagine for some, it would be an easy no because good food and a refreshing drink are a big
Easy
part of
no.
enjoying life.
Very easy no. Like food, like being able to enjoy food is just like fucking. There's so many kinds of it. They
It's like
elicit
fucking.
different emotions. Like it's food. I don't think I could food. Food is good. Food is good.
That's a
If
bold
you took
stance.
away my like ability to eat, I would lose 50% of my interest in living.
Hot take. Wow. Yeah. Food brings happiness, man.
It really does.
That's why they call it chicken joy.
Yeah.
Cooking, like
food is
every
culture.
aspect of it, I love.
Yeah, food is culture, man.
Yeah.
Like when I recommend like Filipino food to people, and then they're like, "Oh, this is like very salty and vinegary," or people be like, "Wow, I didn't know that you garlic fried rice with a nice tocino and a fried egg."
I
on top."
take
Like,
you to the nicest Filipino restaurant in South City, and there's so many other things on the menu, yet you order the blood stew.
You call it blood stew? That is slander, dog. It's
Chocolate meat.
Dini Guan. Look it up. It hits different.
It's a little gritty.
Yeah.
I've had blood before, not
Damn blood.
not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Food is.
Dude.
Wait. So the question was, would you choose drink or food, or is it?
No,
would
just
you
nothing.
No, just
Just-
Oh.
One of the
Yeah.
I'm torn, man. You could get so much done.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I have free time already, and I don't do shit with it.
Maybe drinking stuff. I mean,
You can't drink
Can't
food
drink?
or drink.
yeah, but it's been oh, you have to take both. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Your listening comprehension though.
It's because we're so past lunchtime.
I know.
Everybody's-
After this conversation about food, I before I might have said yes to the wizard because I do get really stressed about because I cannot cook. I am so bad. That stresses me out. I never know what to make for dinner. I eat scrambled eggs half the time. I hate all of that, but also I really like ramen and beer. So
Yeah. Also, it might be good for my health though, because if I'm getting all the nutrients by default, I don't think I'm getting the nutrients I need most of the time. So it might be a healthier option to be like,
Oh, it's
yeah,
for sure gonna
it's
be
for sure
healthier.
better for you. Yeah. Yeah. Is the wizard is this making me my best body? Am I getting all my macros?
Oh yeah, that's good.
macros, dog.
So if the wizard is you can't eat or drink anymore, but you are the weight and physique.
You're a peak physical specimen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
As
need to know
if
that.
I think that's
Your
I would-
friends aren't gonna invite you out to dinner anymore because you're gonna be the asshole.
You're gonna be the
at
weirdo that just sits
table.
there not
no,
eating.
I'm good.
I don't really need to eat
I'm not really.
anything.
I don't
bring a
really eat
Switch.
anymore.
I drink a lot of water and I find water to be very refreshing and I would
Hell
miss
yeah.
it. I would miss it a whole lot actually.
Water,
Also,
greatest beverage of all
I
time.
need water to take medication.
Mhm.
Can't take an Advil with
Oh
them.
yeah.
Sorry, wizard.
Yeah.
Bad deal.
Hard pass.
All right. I think that's a collective no then on that score.
Cool.
I might do it.
Yeah.
I might do it. I'm
Think about it.
diabetic, and I'm like, I hate having to manage
Want to
that.
fuck with that anymore.
I wouldn't have to.
That's
I get it.
I understand.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That might be a good trade-off.
See, there's a case for it.
Mm-hmm.
I get the parking lot wizard on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my actual answer is I need more information
Yep.
to make an educated decision about my food future.
All right, I have closed the tab with the emails, so I guess that means emails are over.
Dunzo.
Bombcast at giantbomb.com. Thanks to everybody for sending stuff in. Thanks to you guys for being here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Tons of
Yeah.
fun.
This is a
Yeah, thank you so much.
large chunk of the day to ask of people to take out, but
Yeah.
we appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. We have a couple. Are we allowed to?
Yeah, you got
promo
anything you want to plug?
stuff?
Yeah, totally.
we got. We,
Oh, yeah.
we-
Sorry, I should have asked you.
Oh no, it's all good. We have a podcast that's starting as well. So if you
This
want to hear more
Friday,
if you want to hear more of our
Hey.
bullshit, we actually do it in this room, but
Okay.
it's not live and it's no
We're-
video. But
yeah,
Smart.
we usurp the room.
yeah,
We've been doing some practice sessions. It's been fun.
yeah. And I text Jams like, "Hey, my bad if shit's fucked up."
But yeah, but so the
They
first
haven't touched my
episode,
Tecate, so it's fine.
yeah, we it's called GameSpot After Dark, and because we originally started recording after work hours,
Yeah.
and the first episode is going up on Friday, so
Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to get raunchy because it's after dark, whatever. If that was the premise, but we
I
do our
think
thing.
it's just After Dark because we can say the F word.
Okay. It's free pass. Though we have to watch it apparently.
Yeah, now
I
we
need to
do.
watch it. Shit, man. I don't
Your
even
F
know.
word is fruits basket. You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Also, we just got word that we're having a PAX panel.
Nice.
At
Cool.
PAX West.
Okay.
Right now, it's going to be Sunday. We're still iffy on the timing of it, but it's been approved. It's happening. So, yeah, we have a PAX panel. It's going to be me, Jake Decker, Jean-Luc Seipke, Mike Williams from US Gamer, Ginny Wu, who's a freelance writer for us, and possibly Abby Russell. from
Okay.
Giant Bomb East.
Yeah.
She's hit me up, but I got to confirm with her, like, the timing and stuff. But, yeah.
Why are you going to do Jan like that?
Oh, yeah. Jan, yeah.
It's cool. I'll just hang out.
Jan, you have a panel.
I have a panel, and so does Abby Russell. That's all I'm going to say about it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sorry,
Uh,
I didn't mean to put you all on the spot.
No. It's called the Giant Bomb Variety Hour, 9 p.m. Sunday. We're still figuring out what that is.
Nice.
There may or may not be tap dancing.
Mm.
I'll fuck with it.
It will be varied.
Yes. Yes.
Can say that much.
Sequins.
So people can look for the podcast on GameSpot.com.
Yeah, so we'll have like a hub article with information and stuff that you can look for, and then going forward, it'll be syndicated on various podcast platforms.
I hope it's on SoundCloud, so I can tell people. You know what? Check out my SoundCloud. Our SoundCloud, actually. So,
Cool. Yeah. And then after show coming up after this.
We're taking a little longer break than normal,
Okay.
but we will be back around 3:30 Pacific for the after show. I'll
Cool.
be joined by Pat Gill. So if you're watching live, stick around.
Great. Yeah, if you're live, stay tuned.
Grab a drink. Grab
Yes.
some McDonald's
Yes. While you still can before,
before the parking
before
lot.
before the wizard makes the rounds and takes away the only thing worth living for. Anyway. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the podcast this week. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us and for listening. We'll be back next week with another one. See you then.